What do you think of RRR?
I don't think of RRR. Nawaz in his better films breaks rhythm like in Black Friday, where he's asking him questions और वो जवाब देते देते ना वो ऐसे कुछ करता है जैसे
Yes, I remember this. I remember this.
मैं बॉस ये क्या था सबका रिदम ब्रेक कर दिया उसने. We didn't expect the scene to go where it went.
The Konkana Sen Sharma short film.
Incredible. Probably the best short film I've seen in the last 5 years from India is stuck inside an anthology. ये Sundance, Cannes, Venice, Berlin कुछ भी जीत सकती थी. It could have brought us the short film Oscar. 2 साल में खाने के वांदे थे. I've sold वड़ा पाव.
What?
वो 2 रुपए, 4 रुपए, 6 रुपए में रद्दी वालों से किताबें खरीदता था. खाना नहीं खाता था, किताबें खरीदता था. गुलजार साहब के लिरिक्स कुछ 8 फिल्मों में राइम में ट्रांसलेट किया है. I was one of his favorite subtitlers.
What are you saying?
I am in an abusive, one-sided relationship with my work. But can I walk away from it? No, that's why it's an abusive relationship.
आज का जो चलचित्र टॉक्स का एपिसोड है मुझे लगता है ये इतिहास के पन्नों में जाएगा बिकॉज आई थिंक वी कैप्चर्ड समथिंग रियली रियली स्पेशल इन दिस. Today's episode is with filmmaker Devashish Makhija. Devashish has made some of my favorite short films including Ugly Bar and Tandav. He has made some amazing feature films. इनकी जो last feature film थी starring Manoj Vajpayee, it's called Bhosle. And इनकी जो next feature film है, it is again starring Manoj Vajpayee and it will be releasing very very soon in India. मैं जब बॉम्बे शिफ्ट हुआ था so Devashish was one of the first people I met and ever since then आई हैव कंसिडर्ड हिम माई मेंटर. मैंने टीचर्स डे पे इनके साथ मेरी एक फ़ोटो भी डाली थी एंड आई थिंक देवशीष रिप्रेजेंट्स द एसेंस ऑफ व्हाट बीइंग एन आर्टिस्ट इज. और मैं इस चीज़ को रोमांटिसाइज करके नहीं बोल रहा हूँ बट आई रियली रियली बिलीव दैट. And but like when you live the journey of an artist, the true journey of an artist, it is never easy. सो इस एपिसोड में हम उन सारी चीज़ों की बात करेंगे विच देवशीष हैड टू गो थ्रू टू बिकम वॉट ही इज़ टुडे. ये एपिसोड बीच में थोड़ा हैवी भी हो सकता है एंड आई वांट टू गिव अ ट्रिगर वार्निंग. देयर इज़ अ पार्ट इन दिस एपिसोड वेयर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अ वेरी पर्सनल स्टोरी रिलेटेड टू सुसाइड. सो प्लीज़ वॉच दिस एपिसोड एट योर ओन डिस्क्रेशन. Hi Dev, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. Again. I had been wanting to do this conversation for a very long time. I think हमारी last 2020 में हुई थी, नवंबर में कोविड के दौरान हुई थी and people really loved that episode. But मेरे को ये लगा कि अभी भी actual देवाशीष माखीजा लोगों ने देखा नहीं है, like the kind of information and like the essence of देवाशीष माखीजा. I think the internet is yet to see. तो मैंने सोचा आज एक और अटेम्प्ट करते हैं.
बट क्या है ना वो यूट्यूब और इंस्टाग्राम पे कुछ आधा अधूरा भी ठीक लोगों को दिखता है. दे लाइक बेस्ट थिंग ऑन द इंटरनेट टुडे. आई एम लाइक रियली शांत हो जाओ. थैंक यू बट ज़्यादा हो गया.
तो मेरे को एक चीज़ बहुत फैसिनेटिंग लगी है. लाइक आई थिंक आई हैव नोन यू फॉर आई थिंक 4 5 6 7 years नाउ. बहुत 7 या. I have noticed this one thing and I've been really inspired by this particular side of yours. जैसे a lot of people don't know we were also part of a community Abobo जो आपने चालू की थी. I learned a lot from you in there. But one particular thing that I have been a fan of is your use of language. आप ईमेल जैसे लिखते हो, आप मैसेज जैसे करते हो एंड आई थिंक अबाउट इट अ लॉट कि जैसे आपने कहा ना कि कोई लिखता है बेस्ट थिंग ऑन द इंटरनेट. You have a certain way with words where you would write it in a way that it will stay with you.
It'll just feel authentic.
हाँ.
Try to make things feel
तो मेरे
authentic.
को ये जानना है how do you have this stronger command over language and is it just on English language या हिंदी भी इतना strong है. और इसकी हिस्ट्री बताओ मेरे को बिकॉज इट्स वेरी यूनिक. मैंने देखे हैं, काफ़ी लोग देख लिए, बॉम्बे रहते हैं.
Thank you. Yeah, no one's ever pointed that out, but मैं बहुत मेहनत करता हूँ in communicating, whether it's communicating through my script or over an email or a WhatsApp. मैं मेहनत तो बहुत करता हूँ. Even a WhatsApp, sometimes I'm deleting and rewriting just to ensure that I'm making my point and I'm being almost uncategorical about what I'm trying to say, but I'm being respectful of the other person, no matter what I feel about the other person. I just believe respect in communication is key. Now, I haven't done that consciously, but now that you ask it,
where did it start from?
I think, I don't know, but if I'm tracing it back, now that you asked it, I think, most of my stories are about trying to start dialogue. All my stories are about people who I'm not, people who are constantly marginalized by society. And although the story might be an angry story, but somewhere I leave all my stories at a point very consciously where I feel that maybe this can start a dialogue. I believe जब तक dialogue नहीं होगा दो लोगों के बीच, दो communities के बीच, दो groups के बीच, कोई भी सुलह, कोई भी peace पे आना, कोई भी mutual beneficial situation में पहुंचना impossible है. So somewhere maybe that has sort of seeped into the way I communicate with everybody.
आई थिंक ये तो आप अभी जो करंट देवाशीष द फिल्म मेकर एंड स्टोरी टेलर की बात कर रहे हैं वेयर यू आर ट्राइंग टू हैव दिस डायलॉग बिटवीन योर
But
कैरेक्टर.
मैं ये स्टोरी टेलर शायद 30 साल से हूँ.
हाँ, तो आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ओरिजिन ऑफ इट कि वहाँ
I wouldn't know because now that you pointed it out, I'm thinking about it in retrospect कि ये कहाँ से आया होगा.
बिकॉज अभी मेरे क्वेश्चन में आई एम पर्टिकुलरली इंटरेस्टेड इन द वोकैबुलरी ऑफ इट बिकॉज योर वोकैबुलरी ब्लोज मी अवे कि यार ये कहाँ से आ रही है.
वो तो फिर मोस्टली इंग्लिश में होगा क्योंकि मैं रीडर और राइटर आई थिंक 5 की उम्र से रहा हूँ. आई एम प्राइमरीली अ राइटर. मेरी फिल्म मेकिंग बहुत देर से आई मेरी लाइफ में. आई एम प्राइमरीली अ राइटर एंड समवेयर बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो हिंदी डायलॉग राइटर विच इज़ माई ब्रेड एंड बटर. तो ये चीज़ मेरी हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में शायद आ गई है. सामने बैठे इंसान की कदर करना थोड़ी बहुत एटलीस्ट.
Which other languages do you know apart from Indian English?
Bengali, but I'm not so fluent. I used to be. In Calcutta, I used to write Bengali copy in advertising.
आपको ऐसे दुनिया में सबसे ज़्यादा लैंग्वेज कौन सी फैसिनेट करती है यार दिस इज समथिंग आई वुड वांट टू लर्न. इट्स जस्ट द वे द पीपल स्पीक दिस लैंग्वेज जो बोली है.
बोली से ज़्यादा मैं साइन लैंग्वेज को लेकर बहुत ही फैसिनेटेड रहा हूँ. मुझे अमेरिकन साइन लैंग्वेज थोड़ी बहुत आती है क्योंकि मैं कैलकाटा में एक थिएटर ग्रुप के साथ था which had the deaf and dumb actors.
सो साइन लैंग्वेज में अमेरिकन साइन लैंग्वेज इज डिफरेंट.
ढेर सारे.
क्या बात है.
It's a very complex space. It's a very complex political space. For example, मैं अभी एडिनबरा में था फिल्म फेस्टिवल में. So the Scottish sign language is very different from the UK, the British sign language. क्योंकि वो क्या करते हैं जब उनको और बहुत कम उम्र से they are teaching and learning so that young kids can also communicate what they're feeling to adults and in schools and in institutions. They take it very seriously abroad, unlike a lot of India. So what I learned there was that cultural nuances have to be worked into the sign language so that the kids pick it up more easily. Like आप American sign language आप एक Scottish बच्चे को सिखाओगे, he'll take 5 years to pick it up, but you teach them the Scottish sign language because it's in the DNA, it's in the culture, it's come from there. There are overlaps, of course. It's not like it's radically different, but the nuances, the word, the same sign for day will be slightly different from sign language to sign language.
और इसमें एक इंडियन साइन लैंग्वेज भी एक.
Not really. India may follow the American Sign Language, but a lot of India that cannot afford to go to institutions to learn the American Sign Language. Where I grew up in my mohalla, there was a boy who we obviously used to call Gunga. वो slums में रहता था, and he was deaf and dumb. और वो by default लोगों के साथ communicate करते करते उसने एक sign language अपना बिठा लिया था. और वो किसी से भी बात करे वो इंसान समझ जाता था ये क्या बोल रहा है. He was very animated, of course. He's almost Charlie Chaplin-esque. तो I find that very fascinating. And I even wrote a script. बाइटू करके मेरी कहानी है. 2 जुड़वा भाइयों की. एक म्यूट है और एक बोल सकता है. और वो कभी किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में गया नहीं है. ही अपने साइन लैंग्वेज का उसने खुद इजाद किया है. And I wanted to create a sign language for that film. And I've been working on it for a few years. Haven't made it yet. So I'm very fascinated with, because I find it very cinematic. It lends itself to the visual medium really well and not used enough in cinema.
यू नो आजकल बहुत सारा फिक्शन वर्ल्ड में एंड इनफैक्ट मेरा एक फेवरेट आइसलैंडिक बैंड है सिगुर रॉस. सो दे मेक देयर म्यूजिक इन अ लैंग्वेज कॉल्ड होपलैंडिक. दे क्रिएटेड अ लैंग्वेज इन विच दे मेक म्यूजिक. अब गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स है उसमें डोथराकीज जो दिखाए उनकी एक लैंग्वेज क्रिएट की गई है राइटर के द्वारा. चाहे उसकी 4 ही लाइनें आए या 10 लाइनें हैं बट दे क्रिएटेड अ होल लैंग्वेज आउट.
करते हैं यार, मेहनत करते हैं. अराइवल देखी है?
हाँ और
Arrival, yeah. They came up with that mnemonic symbolic sign language for the aliens.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I also want to know कि since हम language की बात कर रहे हैं, what do you think of translation? And I'm particularly now talking about literature. कि जब आप कोई translated literature पढ़ते हो तो how many times has it happened कि यार like कि I just want to go to the original piece of work. मेरे को लग रहा है इसने justice नहीं की. ओ या फिर ये तो अपने आप में ही एक another piece of art है.
है, ये बहुत ट्रिकी कॉन्वर्जेशन है क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ माई ब्रेड एंड बटर हैज़ कम फ्रॉम सबटाइटल्स। तो मैंने कुछ 45 फिल्में सबटाइटल की है। मोस्ट ऑफ देम डोंट हैव माई नेम ऑन इट क्योंकि आई हैव टू डू इट फॉर माई ब्रेड एंड बटर। मैंने गुलजार साहब के लिरिक्स कुछ 8 फिल्मों में राइम में ट्रांसलेट
What
किया
are
है।
you
आई वॉज
saying?
वन ऑफ हिज फेवरेट सबटाइटल्स।
What are you saying?
तो सालों से मैंने मेरा इस चीज़ के साथ ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रहा है कि इज इट द राइट थिंग टू डू बिकॉज योर what I do is I transcreate, I don't just translate. I find the SAR and I transcreate.
So it's your creation also now.
Yeah. So I don't know what I feel about translation. Without translation, a piece of literature or a film will not transcend cultural boundaries. It's necessary, but you're losing out. You definitely lose out on the original flavor of things. Like Ajji was on Netflix for 3 years, and the first time I saw it on Netflix, they had not used my subtitles. Netflix comes up with its own subtitles. मैं 3 महीने मेल पे मैं लड़ के लाइन बाय लाइन आई गॉट देम टू चेंज इट टू माई सबटाइटल्स बट I don't know what is the right thing. Should I have let it be that way? Because they keep it overtly simple because from that English they have to create 75 other language subtitles. So it's a very complex discourse translation.
And मेरे को पता है कि how you also introduce your politics very rightly so in the like the subtitles. मेरे को याद है
Yeah.
ईयर राउंड प्रोग्राम था मामी का और आपने मेरे को भोसले चालू नहीं होने वाली थी, आपने कहा कि अंदर आ दिखाता हूँ, और खाली थिएटर में हम दोनों खड़े थे और एक कोई लाइन आई थी वेयर ही वाज सेइंग समथिंग इन हिंदी और आप मराठी में, और आपने कहा मैंने इंग्लिश में देखिए किया।
I transcreate. मेरी डायलॉग्स को भी मैं ट्रांसक्रिएट करता हूँ टू गिव इट अ कल्चरल रेजोनेंस विद द पीपल हु डोंट नो हिंदी। तो है ट्रिकी। जैसे मैं मुराकामी या मार्केस पढ़ता हूँ एंड आई एम लाइक आई वंडर व्हाट दिस इज लाइक इन द ओरिजिनल लैंग्वेज। तो बट आई प्रॉब्ली नेवर नो।
How high of a regard do you have for dubbing? What do you think of dubbing industry in general? Is it doing more good or bad to the world of films?
I don't know. I've never heard a film of mine dubbed. I've never been part of a dubbing process.
बट आपने कोई बाहर की पिक्चर देखी हो बचपन में?
मैं तो कोशिश करता हूँ कि मैं डब्ड फिल्म ना ही देखूँ।
हाँ, यही जानना है क्यों?
देखो, रीडिंग टेक्स्ट एंड हैविंग इमेज एंड साउंड व्हिच इज द ओरिजिनल इमेज एंड साउंड एज इंटेंडेड बाय द मेकर और द राइटर is different from hearing something that the writer and the maker didn't intend. So I'd rather, because for me sound is majority of the emotion. ये मैंने बहुत बार कहा है
और
कि
मैंने ये चलचित्र में इतना कोट किया है कि देवाशीष माखीजा ने एक बहुत सही लाइन कही है कि फिल्म चाहे 2D हो ना हो, साउंड हमेशा 3D होता है। This is a line I have said over the years. I love this line.
yeah, sound is everything. So I don't want to hear a dubbed film. It's taking away your cultural experience.
एंड आई रिमेंबर 7 साल पहले जब मैं आपसे पहली बार मिलने आया था, आपने मेरे को बताया था व्हेन यू लाइक अ फिल्म, आई डोंट नो इफ यू स्टिल डू इट, यू आर लाइक कि आप कभी कभी वो फिल्म 3 बार देखते हो, एक बार नॉर्मली देखते हो, एक बार वीडियो ऑफ करके सिर्फ ऑडियो के लिए और एक बार सिर्फ विजुअल्स के लिए।
That is my film school. अब नहीं करता हूँ, but the first 5-6 years when I was trying to understand cinema, क्योंकि I not only do I not come from a film school, I'm not a movie buff. तो मैंने पिक्चरें इतनी देखी नहीं थी यहाँ आने के पहले, तो खुद को समझाने के लिए, सिखाने के लिए मैंने ये की थी। Now Abstract Room, they did an interview with me and I said this. They made a little reel out of it. I got trolled. I've had at least like 1,500 people troll me. Say इतना टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास कि हम एक फिल्म 3 बार देखेंगे। I'm like यार वो मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, अगर आपको समझना है इससे बेटर तरीका नहीं है, क्योंकि आप विजुअल के बिना साउंड पूरा समझ जाओगे, सारे डिसीजन जो फिल्म मेकर ने लिए हैं, क्यों लिए हैं, वो एकदम रिवील हो जाता है। देयर इज नो बेटर वे टू लर्न फिल्म मेकिंग।
कैन यू रिकमेंड अ फ्यू फिल्म्स कि अगर कोई साउंड के लिए कोई देखना चाहे टू स्टडी, जैसे आपके तो साउंड इज एवरीथिंग, सो वेयर कैन समवन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम कि इफ यू वांट टू नो कि व्हाट अ साउंड कैन डू टू अ फिल्म?
आई विल कोट क्लीशेज, बट all the films of Kieslowski and all the films of Kubrick, pick any, they are very respectful of what sound can achieve.
And here we are just talking about sound design, not music.
Not music, sound design. Yeah. Of course, these two filmmakers also know their music, but even the sound design is impeccable.
Yeah.
What it does for the film, how it lifts a performance. You'll see some of Kieslowski's films without the sound, just the image, and you'll be like, the performance is not as great as people are making it out to be. The sound design comes in and it just feels like a great performance. So because Kieslowski, I mean, I'm not that filmmaker, but he was a control freak, and he would be sitting below the camera and telling the actor ki he's literally directing each gasp, and he's like, okay, done, cut, because he knows what he's going to supplement this with in the sound. So he's creating that performance on edit. He's like, तू मेरे को इतना ही दे, बाकी मैं करूँ.
मेरे को याद है लास्ट टाइम जो हमने एपिसोड किया था, प्लीज करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम प्रोनाउंसिंग द नेम इनकरेक्टली, वॉल्टर मर्च की साउंड और एडिटिंग के ऊपर हमने किताबों की बात की थी. वन वाज
In the Blink of an Eye and Conversations. वो बहुत कमाल की किताब है.
Now I also want to know about like हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि यार जब देव आएंगे उनसे क्या बात करना चाहेंगे हम सारे, और I just want to know कि how are you feeling आजकल in regard to what's happening to indie filmmaking in India right now? How do you feel on a daily basis about it? जैसे आज आपने मेरे को पता है आपकी आज तबीयत भी थोड़ी ठीक नहीं है, and you were telling me how it is a metaphor to what's happening with the indie film industry.
Before we get into that, I think ये word indie को ना पहले define करते हैं, because the minute I launch into a response to this question, and I get asked this in some form or the other often, then people counter me कि but what does independent cinema mean? So let's define independent cinema. The word independent comes from the American independent movement of the 80s going into the early 90s, where the smaller films made by these artistic filmmakers, for example Steven Soderbergh, Sex, Lies and Videotape, were funded by independent entities who were not studios or wings of studios. So that artistic kind of cinema was called independent cinema because the funds came independently. But the minute you use that word here, by that logic, Guru Dutt, Raj Kapoor, Aditya Chopra, Karan Johar are independent filmmakers. So we should not be using that word in the first place. तो अगर वो word को हम इस situation से हटा दें, and we talk about the artistic cinema, the cinema that prioritizes the artists, the author's artistic impulse and is not working backwards from a market requirement. So now you see Yashraj, Dharma, they're working backwards from a market requirement. Yeah, they don't qualify as an artistic film. But the filmmakers who can't help their impulse कि मेरे को ये बोलना है, और मेरे को एक इंडिपेंडेंट प्रोड्यूसर जिसने कभी फिल्म में पैसे नहीं डाले, वो सिंगापुर का एक इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर है, यहाँ जी स्टूडियो है, फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मेरी फिल्म आर्टिस्टिक है, क्योंकि द मिनट यू ब्रिंग जी स्टूडियो इन, माई फिल्म इज नॉट एन इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्म, जोरम. But is it not an artistic film? No, it is an artistic film. It's made with a very artistic, political, philosophical impulse. I was not thinking about the market. ये पहले दायरा डिफाइन करना जरूरी है. अब हम आर्टिस्टिक सिनेमा के बारे में बात करते हैं इंडिया में.
So what do you feel about it? अभी मार्टिन स्कॉर्सेज़ी का अभी एक टाइम पे एक आर्टिकल आया था वेयर I'll first quote रिचर्ड लिंकलेटर. उन्होंने अभी एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ बोली लास्ट वीक, आई थिंक इंडी वायर को, कि बेसिकली द ऑनस्लॉट ऑफ टेक इंडस्ट्री इन द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री हैज़ डिस्ट्रॉयड द सिनेमा. कि टेक वाले जैसे ही एंटर किए ना, मेरे को अभी किसी ने बताया लाइक एक OTT प्लेटफॉर्म है इंडिया में, वो आपकी फिल्म प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेगा या खरीदेगा नहीं अगर आपके पहले 20 सेकंड में एक चेस सीक्वेंस नहीं है.
I haven't heard this.
And I'm like, bro, if your film doesn't start with a chase sequence, you won't get onto an OTT platform.
But this is a symptom that has come into play in different forms every once in a while. जैसे इंडिया की बात अगर करूँ तो स्टूडियोज़ के आने के पहले एक मल्टीप्लेक्स का दौर था. उसके पहले 90s और 80s में वो स्टार ड्रिवन फिल्म्स और ऑलमोस्ट रबिश मेन स्ट्रीम फिल्मों का दौर था. हर बार अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एंटिटी डिक्टेट्स व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सिनेमा शुड बी मेड. When the studios came in, we all thought this was the late 2000s when UTV was making films, and UTV Spot Boy started backing films like Devdi, Amir. सबको लगा कि we've cracked it. We are not under the hegemony of these family producers and stars. We can make interesting films. But in no time at all, the studios started putting teams of executives together who were ex-MBAs who had worked on brands, mineral water brands and soap brands, and they're telling you, ये नहीं बिकेगा, ये देखने लोग नहीं आएंगे. I'm like, but 5 साल पहले तो आप लोग ही कह रहे थे कि आप हमको फ्रीडम दोगे, तो ये क्या हो गया? आप मार्केट सर्वे करके क्यों बता रहे हो कौन सी फिल्म बननी चाहिए कौन सी नहीं? फिर वो दौड़ गया, फिर ये OTTs आए. हमको तब सबको लगा कि Netflix will be the solution to all our problems. They will because they put 4 of Q's films on Netflix. Yeah. We all thought कि that's it, the solution to our problems has come. 5 years hence, they're like, no, I'm sorry. They put out a public a claim in the news that we are not taking independent cinema anymore, only big budget films and only star vehicles. We are not interested in the smaller films. So ये होता रहता है, ये एक लूप है, क्योंकि film as a medium requires so much money and has the potential to therefore make so much money that someone or the other coming in, you get dependent on them, they will start dictating terms. Now the same technology that correctly, according to Linklater, is destroying artistic cinema in one way is also empowering artistic cinema in one way. Because my short films, and you've seen them, if I was not shooting them on my phone and editing it on my MacBook,
Absolutely.
I would not be able to make any short films
Yeah.
because I didn't have the resources. And those short films changed my life.
अभी आई वाज डूइंग एन एपिसोड विद रसिका दुग्गल और मैं आई थिंक वो भी परेशान हो गई होगी जितनी बार मैंने उन्हें बोला है कि हाउ अगली बार इज वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट शॉर्ट फिल्म्स एवर मेड. मैं बस अगली बार करता रहा उनको.
What did she say? She's saying
शी वाज पिस्ड दैट मैंने उनकी बाकी शॉर्ट फिल्म्स नहीं देखी. शी इज लाइक बट तुमने ये वाली नहीं देखी. मैंने कहा बट मैंने अगली बार इतनी बार देखी है. सॉरी आई डोंट नो क्या बात कर रहे थे हम. सॉरी
technology.
टेक्नोलॉजी की हम बात कर रहे थे कि व्हाट लाइक एवरीवन इज सेइंग अबाउट इट. बट
ये रखना हाँ एडिट पे
हाँ.
कि तुम मुझसे पूछ रहे हो कि what were you talking about?
हाँ
ये रखना.
ये तो मैं 2.5 घंटे का.
हाँ.
यही तो अरे ये तो चलता है. आप चिंता मत करो. ऐसा कुछ टेंशन वाली चीज़ नहीं है. सारी चीज़ें जाने वाली हैं. सो आई वांट टू नो कि कैसा फील कैसा हो रहा है. अब हमने इंडी को डिफाइन कर दिया कि like this is the दायरा of indie.
Like I said, the challenges keep changing, but the challenges don't go away. ये early 2000s में जब मैं Black Friday पे मैंने काम की, उसके बाद I tried to set up film after film after film. मेरी कुछ 16-17 फिल्में शेल्व हुई. उस वक्त एक सुधीर मिश्रा, एक हंसल मेहता, एक विशाल भारद्वाज, एक अनुराग कश्यप लड़ रहे थे. वो सिस्टम के अंदर रहकर, दायरे के अंदर रहकर एक आर्टिस्टिक सिनेमा. मैं हिंदी स्पेस की बात कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज दैट्स द ओनली स्पेस आई नो. Because there are 28 other regional spaces also that should enter this conversation. But I'm not an authority on them in any way. Neither am I on the Hindi space, but I inhabit it, so I can speak for it. फिर जब ये स्टूडियोज वाली दौड़ आई, वो सारे फिल्म मेकर थोड़े बड़े बजट और स्टार्स के जोन में चले गए. ये नई पीढ़ी आई. They started facing newer challenges. You have Vasan Bala, me, all our first films never released. We are all sitting on unreleased first films. वो चले गए तो ये OTT का स्पेस आया वेयर वी थॉट कि हमारी फिल्में आएंगी OTT पे. जैसे अज्जी आई नेटफ्लिक्स पे, बट 3 years in they didn't renew the deal with Udly because they said nobody watched it. So now on an OTT those films get released because contrary to earlier when nobody had any way to access them, but they don't get supported by the algorithms. तो आप ढूंढ कर परेशान हो जाओगे, बट अज्जी आपको मिलेगी नहीं. और अगर आपको रियली देखनी है तभी आपको मिलेगी. तो आई डोंट नो इफ दैट रियली सर्व द पर्पस, क्योंकि इट्स अ सुपरमार्केट एवरी OTT. हाउ डू यू फाइंड द गुड फिल्म्स? हाउ डू यू फाइंड द आर्टिस्टिक फिल्म्स? बिकॉज देयर एल्गोरिथम्स डोंट सपोर्ट द लोकेटिंग ऑफ दोज फिल्म्स. So every 3-4 years the challenges change, but the challenges will remain. Because artistic cinema, and this is something I tell all independent filmmakers, young filmmakers, rest assured nobody wants your film. Audiences don't want it, the market doesn't want it, nobody wants it. Only you want it. So you have to fight for it from the day you start making it till the day you die. Because you stop fighting for it to be watched, people will stop watching it. They are waiting to forget it. They don't owe you. You owe you. That's why I'm constantly fighting to keep my film alive. I'll give you an example. The London Indian Film Festival next month is showing Joram. They are also showing Ajji. They started a new section which they've not announced yet. I hope this is going on air 2 weeks later, so it will be announced by then.
अच्छा.
So, but I fight to keep my films alive.
And I love how you also do it on Facebook. Like आप हर पोस्ट में you are, मतलब again you are playing that self promotion game very smartly. कि आप
I have to know who else will do it for me.
या वो देवानंद का एक कोट है ना, if you won't blow your own trumpet, who will? करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, but you also have to do it with grace.
You do it with grace. That's what I'm saying. That is where again the language comes in. कि यार आप language ऐसे लिख रहे हो, आप किसी को, I don't know, like these things have always stayed with me. कि अगर आप जब किसी का कुछ शेयर भी करते हो, एंड लाइक एमली यार इतना तमीज से तो कोई करता ही नहीं ना, एंड आई थिंक वो उसका जो ट्रिकल डाउन इफेक्ट है वो हम जैसे लोगों में भी आता है, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो मेक श्योर इफ समवन इज मेकिंग गुड, आई थिंक यू आर ऑल्सो वन ऑफ दोज पीपल कि अगर कोई कुछ अच्छा बनाता है यू विल गो एंड मैसेज देम.
आई गेट वेरी हैप्पी कि यार
यार
किसने लड़ाई लड़ी है, यार शाबाशी दो.
सही
This can't go unnoticed.
या एंड यू डू इट पब्लिकली, एंड आई एम श्योर
Because I believe that, I use war analogies a lot.
Yeah,
Although I'm not a violent person and my films are all anti-violence, but an independent film, an artistic film is a war. So in a war, I just see every artistic filmmaker as soldiers in that war. So गोलियां चल रही हैं हम पे, हमने सूट पहना भी नहीं है, गोलियां तब से चल रही हैं. If we don't watch each other's backs, no one will. So I am one of the soldiers, these guys are soldiers. So किसी सोल्जर ने एनिमी पे गोली चलाई, I'm like शाबाश, क्योंकि तुमने गोली चलाई तो मैं नहीं मरा. We have to keep watching each other's backs, और ये बहुत कम होता है. And I'm again inspired by the regional cinema. आप Assamese नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देख लो, मलयालम में देख लो, all the filmmakers they're there for each other. वो एक नॉर्थ ईस्ट की फिल्म, मणिपुर की फिल्म शायद एक फेस्टिवल में जाती है, वो असम और त्रिपुरा और सारे स्टेट्स के फिल्म मेकर दे लाइक बॉस, नॉर्थ ईस्ट से फिल्म गई है, ड्रॉप एवरीथिंग, सेलिब्रेट दिस गाय. केरला में दे आर वर्किंग इन ईच अदर्स फिल्म्स, दे बिकम डायरेक्टर्स, बिकम एक्टर्स, डीओपीज बिकम प्रोड्यूसर्स, दे आर कॉन्स्टेंटली सपोर्टिंग ईच अदर्स सिनेमा.
मेरे को इससे याद आया कि सम इयर्स बैक मैंने एक अनुराग कश्यप का राजीव मसंद के साथ इंटरव्यू देखा था, वेयर ही हैड सेड कि इन इंडिया देयर इज मोर यूनिटी इन मेन स्ट्रीम देन इंडिया.
Yes, in fact I quote that quote very often.
हाँ
Yeah, he's bang on. क्योंकि जो मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, मुझे बॉम्बे फर्मामेंट में इतना दिखता नहीं है वो एक दूसरे की बैक वॉच करना, बट मेन स्ट्रीम में एक यशराज और एक धर्मा, दे आर कॉन्स्टेंटली वॉचिंग ईच अदर्स बैक्स बिकॉज दे आर अप अगेंस्ट द सेम एनिमीज. दे आर अप अगेंस्ट द सेम थिएटर ओनर्स, द सेम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क दैट ऑलवेज वांट्स. एक लड़ाई हुई थी कुछ साल पहले जहाँ मुकेश भट्ट, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, ही इज द हेड ऑफ द इम्पा, and collectively they fought the theater owners for the distribution of the revenue. 52%, 48%. theater owners थोड़ा ये militant हो रहे थे. So they are very united because money unites people. If you're seeing losses, you will unite because you don't want to see losses. How do we unite ourselves?
या बट दैट रिमाइंड्स मी, ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ बिल्कुल नहीं है. मेरे को याद है मैंने आपको कुछ टाइम पहले एक इमेज, एक ट्वीट भेजा था. यू आर नॉट ऑन ट्विटर राइट?
I am, but I don't tweet.
यू अच्छा
I am everywhere, but I'm only active on Facebook.
लाइक जो तुम्बाड़ के जो डायरेक्टर है राही अनिल भावे, उनका ट्वीट था, देवशीष माखीजा, दिस लोन वुल्फ डायरेक्टर इंस्पायर्स अस ऑल बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल से यू आर द लास्ट मैन स्टैंडिंग.
बट ये एक्सेप्शंस हैं. राही बहुत ग्रेशियस आदमी है, वो भी बहुत गदगद हो जाता है व्हेन ही सीज समबडी फाइटिंग अ फाइट, क्योंकि उसने तुम्बाड़ के लिए इतने साल लड़ा था. तो है, यू आर नॉट रॉन्ग, है वो है दैट सेंस ऑफ ब्रदरहुड, बट इट्स नॉट इनफ.
इट्स नॉट इन 100%.
तो आई सी अ लॉट ऑफ द आर्टिस्टिक फिल्म मेकर्स, वो एक फिल्म बनाते हैं आर्टिस्टिक, उसके बाद थक जाते हैं, फिर वो वेब सीरीज पे अटैच हो जाते हैं जो उन्होंने लिखी नहीं होती है. मैं तो गिन के 10 नाम ले सकता हूँ, बट मैं लूंगा नहीं. हम लाइक यार एक और फिल्म के लिए फाइट करते, 2 और फिल्म के लिए फाइट करते, दुनिया रुकी हुई थी तुम्हारी दूसरी फिल्म के लिए, बट तुम 8 साल से वेब सीरीज और एड्स कर रहे हो. हिम्मत चाहिए फाइट करने के लिए. तो जब वो हिम्मत नहीं है तो ब्रदरहुड से एक एक करके लोग निकल रहे हैं ना, तो ब्रदरहुड छोटा होता रहता है.
And that is why you are also so passionate about the idea of community in general, and that is what we all try to do with Abobo.
Yes, otherwise how do you keep your mental and psychological pieces together?
और पता है वो बहुत यूनिक था, लाइक वाया चलचित्र, आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इट कि मतलब हम यहाँ पे बहुत सारी इमेजेस दिखाएंगे ओवर Abobo की जो जर्नी थी. डू यू नो द डेट व्हेन Abobo was formed?
I'll tell you the date of the first screening. It was my birthday, 3rd August 2018. मेरे जन्मदिन पे हुआ था. We didn't plan it, it just happened.
इट वॉज सच अ सरियल एक्सपीरियंस यार. हम ऐसी क्राउड्स भर पाते थे, लोग बाहर खड़े हैं, अंदर नहीं आ पा रहे हैं. एंड मेरे को लगता है कि मैंने भी वहाँ से कुछ सीखा है, और वही चीज़ मैं चलचित्र में डालने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कम्युनिटी के थ्रू. आई थिंक मतलब पेरेंट वही था. उसके बाद जो चलचित्र में हम कम्युनिटी करते हैं, इट ऑल हैज़ कम फ्रॉम Abobo. तो मेरे को लगता है कि वी नीड टू, I don't know, like, don't you want to build a community like that again?
I do, but the artistic cinema fight is so all consuming. उसमें भी बहुत इमोशनल एनर्जी मैंने इन्वेस्ट करी थी, और that 1 year I almost couldn't do anything else. So until I can get a support system that is willing to walk that mile with me, क्योंकि ऐसी चीज़ से आप पैसे कमाने की या शोहरत कमाने की उम्मीद नहीं रख सकते. You have to do it for the love of doing it. And ultimately, except for you and Saurabh Munjal and 2-3 other people, we couldn't sustain it, that passion for it.
बट आपको ऐसा उसके ट्रेसेस दिखाई देते हैं कि व्हेन पीपल मेंशन आबोबो व्हेन यू गो समवेयर आजकल, या लाइक कोई ऐसी कोई बात करता है, आपने ऐसा कुछ नोटिस किया कि वेयर देयर इज अ मेंशन ऑफ आबोबो और अ फिल्म दैट यू माइट हैव स्क्रीन्ड?
Yeah, there is sporadically, and I miss it. I wish I can do it again because I miss the sense of community. In the independent space, it's non-existent.
लेट्स सी अगर इस वीडियो के थ्रू ये चीज़ हम रिवाइव कर सकते हैं. हम ना हर एपिसोड के एंड में एक हैशटैग देते हैं कि अगर यहाँ तक देखा, क्योंकि 2-2 घंटे की कन्वर्सेशन होती है, तो हम लास्ट में एक हैशटैग देते हैं कि यहाँ तक देखा तो हैशटैग लिखो. तो आज का हैशटैग आबोबो होने वाला
क्या बात.
है ना? सो वील डू दैट. नाउ यस, लेट्स कम बैक टू द कन्वर्सेशन. सो यू आर द लोन वुल्फ ऑफ बॉलीवुड. आप मतलब इसमें प्राइड लेते हो?
नहीं, आई डोंट. मैं मानता नहीं हूँ. लोग कह सकते हैं, वो उनका पर्सपेक्टिव है. मैं अगर मानने लगा तो फिर मेरा अंत ही हो जाएगा ना.
तो एक और चीज़ बताओ कि जो लोग ये जो कमर्शियल साइड में सिनेमा बना रहे हैं एंड ऑल द यशराज एंड द करण जौहर जो मेन स्ट्रीम सिनेमा बना रहे हैं, क्या आप उसको डू यू लुक डाउन अपॉन दैट? डू यू रिस्पेक्ट इट कि नहीं तुम भी सेम, या वहाँ आपकी रेंज आती है?
नहीं आती, क्योंकि वो ही फिल्में हैं और फिल्म मेकर्स हैं जो इस इंडस्ट्री में पैसे ला रहे हैं. वो पैसे नहीं आएंगे तो किसी के पास पैसे होंगे नहीं मेरी फिल्मों में डालने के लिए. जैसे जी स्टूडियो का एग्जांपल देता हूँ, क्योंकि जी स्टूडियो समबडी नाउ फॉर 2 years आई हैव वॉच्ड देम क्लोजली फ्रॉम द इनसाइड. इट्स बीन माय फर्स्ट स्टूडियो collaboration. Now if they didn't have a Gadar to do that well, they wouldn't have had the wherewithal and the energy to push for the kind of film that they're pushing for. They're pushing for Kennedy, for Joram, a beautiful Marathi film called Atma Pamphlet. And not only are they pushing for it, we might get a theatrical release. I've never had a theatrical release.
वाओ.
तो ऐसी चीज़ें मुमकिन नहीं है अगर आप मेन स्ट्रीम फिल्मों से पैसे कमाकर डाइवर्ट नहीं कर सकते. हर चीज़ का होना ज़रूरी है. तो मेरी रेज सिनेमा इंडस्ट्री और प्रोड्यूसर्स की तरफ है ही नहीं. मेरा रेज पॉलिटिकल है.
एक ऐसे बहुत स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ, व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ आरआरआर?
I don't think of RRR. I don't know if it is necessary for me to think of RRR. मैं वो टारगेट ऑडियंस हूँ नहीं, तो I don't think of RRR. क्योंकि अगर बोलना शुरू किया मैंने तो बहुत बोलूँगा, but a film like that was made with a certain intent, fulfilled its intent, went beyond the last signpost and saw that kind of success.
Yeah.
मैं कौन होता हूँ to now voice my opinion on the film? So I'm not even the TA. So I'll.
हाँ, बट मैं वो भी कह रहा हूँ कि it again got the money flowing in the market. तो मैं उस एंगल से भी कह रहा था, जैसे आपने गदर 2 मेंशन किया.
Of course, that's why I said. I mean, हाँ वो तो full power for that. But the kind of film that it is and the kind of dangerous politics that it espouses, I have a lot of comments on that. So, but I'll reserve my comments.
Fair. Now I also want to talk about like acting in general. मैंने एक गुलशन के साथ एक एपिसोड किया था. He said such a beautiful thing. देव, उन्होंने कहा कि उन्होंने एक एक्टिंग में चीज़ नोटिस किया. नहीं मेंशन इरफान कि उन्होंने नाम दिया इस चीज़ को गुलशन ने कि ग्रेट एक्टर्स आर दोज हु आर रिदम ब्रेकर्स. जो कुछ करते करते रिदम ब्रेक कर सकते.
बिल्कुल.
एंड लाइक गुलशन अभी सेंट मी अ वीडियो ऑफ हिज की कुछ दिन पहले कि देख मैंने यहाँ पे रिदम ब्रेक किया. एंड आई एम लाइक दिस इज सो फैसिनेटिंग. व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ दिस फ्रेज एंड द टर्मिनोलॉजी?
I tell actors to do this all the time.
हाँ.
It's spectacular what it achieves. And I do something. I'm giving away a trade secret. So there are some actors who have worked with me multiple times. Say for example Abhishek Banerjee.
Yeah.
तो क्योंकि अभिषेक इज ऑल्सो वन हाफ ऑफ माई कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर्स अनमोल एंड अभिषेक, तो एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है दैट गोज बैक ऑलमोस्ट 10 years. सो व्हेन देयर इज अ फ्रेम दैट ही एंड अनदर एक्टर इनहैबिट, से ही एंड मनोज इन भोसले और ही एंड सुषमा इन अज्जी, तो हमने एक चीज़ रिहर्स की है, प्लान किया है, डिसाइड किया है, कैमरा मूवमेंट डिसाइडेड है, और हम वो पहला जो टेक ले रहे हैं उस शॉट का, मैं अभिषेक को मैं हर बार करता था, अभिषेक के साथ साइड में ले जाता था, बोलता था कि ये हमने डिसाइड किया था, तू ना ये मत कर, तू वो कर, देखते हैं, विल गेट अ प्योर रिस्पॉन्स. तो ब्रेकिंग द रिदम इज व्हाट गिव्स अ सर्टेन अनएक्सपेक्टेड ऑथेंटिसिटी टू दैट मोमेंट. उस इंसान का सोल आ जाता है उस कैरेक्टर के सोल में, एंड इरफान वॉज अ मास्टर ऑफ दैट. और वो क्या करता था, आई एम श्योर इवन गुलशन वुड हैव स्पोकन अबाउट इट, वो आई कॉन्टैक्ट ब्रेक करता था. दो लोग बात करते हैं ना, वो when you're least expecting it, he looks away, looks around, and he looks back at you, and you're like, dude, I lost my connection, but he gave me something new. So he makes you respond in a way that you didn't plan.
And it's such a real thing. We all do this in real life.
Yeah.
Who are some of the, if we may call them, the rhythm breakers in the Indian film industry that you can think of?
Manoj and Nawaz do it too. I think what makes these actors special is because they're rhythm breakers. But in better films, like Nawaz in his better films breaks rhythm, like in Black Friday. In that interrogation scene, there were like 8-9 ADs, most of us working on a film for the first time. Pardon my French, we got when we saw his take. Like, boss, ये क्या था? सबका rhythm break कर दिया उसने. We didn't expect the scene to go where it went.
Oh damn.
And he did something very small. I remember it so acutely. ये सवाल पूछ रहा है उससे, and actually KK also did something to break his rhythm. वो स्टूल ले आता है और वो बैठने जाता है, he kicks the stool. वो जमीन पे गिर जाता है, तो उसका rhythm break हुआ.
Okay, this was improv.
No. But improv in the sense maybe KK was told by Anurag कि तू ये करना, Nawaz was not told. But then Nawaz I think had a comeback where he's asking him questions और वो जवाब देते देते ना वो ऐसे कुछ करता है जैसे जीभ में बाल चला गया.
I remember this.
And all of us were like, wait, ये क्या था? It throws all the cops off. Because like in the middle of all this, you are more concerned about a hair in your mouth where we can actually kill you right now. So that very subtle way of breaking rhythm.
I remember this image.
It is genius. Nobody was expecting it. He came up with that.
Holy
That's rhythm breaking, no? Because you expect इसने सवाल पूछा, ये जवाब देगा, ये डरा हुआ है. बट ये डरा हुआ था और उसने ये किया और जवाब डिले हो गया, सबका रिदम ब्रेक हो गया. इवन द कैमरा हैड टू डू समथिंग न्यू. दैट ब्रिंग्स द, लाइक आई सेड, द एक्टर्स सोल into the character and just makes everyone respond authentically.
And in regard to the female actors, are there any names which are coming to your mind who do this very well?
Sai Pallavi, I really like what she brings to her performances. So many, film after film, I watched 5 or 6 of her films and I'm like, this might go there, and no, it's going there. How does she take it there? When the script has very predictable beats, but she's taking it somewhere else.
It reminds me, remember जब हमने गोवा में अबो करा था, कनी कस्तूरी.
Kani Kusruti. She's also very unpredictable.
Oh dude.
She's a very special actor.
So one is Counterfeit, जो उनकी Kongo, and there was another one, Memories of
A Machine. She's unbelievable in that. Single take.
And I remember आपने बोला था, I just want to work with this woman, what she is doing.
She's very special.
Great rhythm breakers. So ये एक चीज़ है जो मेरे को भी बहुत ज़्यादा fascinate करती है. So when you do your workshops and when you work with these actors, how much emphasis do you put on कि वो जो है ना Stanislavski method की कोई memory याद करो, or are you like कि
I don't even know any method. And every actor I have realized has internalized a different method. कोई Stanislavski का भक्त है तो कोई किसी और का भक्त है. तो I have by default over the years come up with my own process, and it's a slightly open process. मैं characters के back stories और वो छोटे छोटे nuances जो script में नहीं है, हर character के मैं बहुत सारी लिख लेता हूँ. So when the actor finally gets locked, I share a lot of information, especially like with Manoj, like on Tandav and Bhosle and Joram. I just keep throwing a lot of things, knowing that an astute actor like a Manoj will process it all, and the things that matter to him will stick and the rest he will dispense with. And it's not like I want him to use all of it. 2-hour film, he can't use 150 things that I'm throwing at him. 5 that stick with him, I want him to use, because my logic is that if I cast Manoj, the things that stick with him will make it a Manoj performance.
right.
Instead of him, if I had brought Vicky Kaushal, 5 other things would have stuck. So I need it to be a two-way energy flow. After that, I do like 10 days of workshops where I bring all the actors into the same space, and we play out the scenes multiple times so that I find my rhythm of the camera and stuff. There is the conflict of different processes. Someone has come with one method, someone has come with another method. And now I give that space to all the actors to find that combined space where all these methods can contradict, sort of intersect, find the method of that scene. And then we go to shoot. By the time we go to shoot, everybody's understood each other. And on shoot, I break rhythm.
Yeah.
Because now you found your rhythm, you found your character, you know your character, you've anchored yourself. Now I break rhythm, you will still find a way. Those will give authentic moments.
And do you also consciously create chaos on your sets?
Not on my sets, of course, but within the frame, yes. I don't want chaos on the set. Because,
हाँ
well,
मतलब
yeah.
उस
You mean
sense
within the frame?
हाँ 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 हाँ.
Of course I do. Otherwise, how will I get authenticity? Even the actor, if I'm taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 takes, by the third take, I need to surprise my actor. I need to be able to contribute to the actor, otherwise the actor will not have anything to respond to.
Yeah.
Everything is reaction in collaboration. So I'm constantly looking to surprise and looking for something. So when, like I said, again, I'm giving away a trade secret, but when I give one little instruction to one actor, I give a counter instruction to the other. So that that little conflict sometimes throws up a surprise.
Yeah.
If it's a scene of conflict.
What's the most impure thing you have ever done as an artist? कि यार यहाँ मेरे को लगता है कि
Good question. Define impure because there are
मैं आर्टिस्टिक इंटेग्रिटी की बात कर रहा हूँ एंड लाइक मैं सिर्फ एक ब्रांड इमेज की भी बात नहीं कर रहा कि द लोन वुल्फ देवाशीष माखीजा इन जनरल आई नो यू आर वेरी ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ व्हेन यू क्रिएट आर्ट सो सम लाइक an instance where you created something where you were untrue to yourself.
देखो डिग्रीज ऑफ इम्प्योरिटी थोड़ी थोड़ी तो बहुत सारी चीज़ों में होती है जैसे वेरी ऑनेस्टली आई से अ फिल्म लाइक जोरम आई रोट इट इन 2014.
You wrote it in 2014.
All my films take years to set up. I wrote Bhosle in 2011, couldn't set it up multiple times, met Manoj in 2014, then we tried to set it up together many times, shot it in 2017, first festival 2018, released online 2020, National Award 2021, 10 साल की journey. So every film has a long journey, but I'm constantly doing multiple films तो overlaps है. I wrote it Joram in 2014, got set up a couple of times. Manoj said yes in 2016. We had our first studio meeting with another studio, which I won't name, in 2020 during the pandemic when Bhosle released. People were excited about us, didn't work out. 2021, after Family Man 2, Z Studio and Manoj wanted to work together. Manoj said Dev se milo, and Z Studio loved what I had, but they had certain thoughts, and I also had certain thoughts. I'm like, you know what? I actually now, post Bhosle, I want to expand my audience set. I want to reach out with my politics to a wider audience because I know this is a story that's not polarizing. It's not as raging and dark as my other stories. It's thrilling, it's adventurous, yet it's political. I can expand my set. I want to rewrite it because now I have Z Studio. So is that a compromise? Is that impure? I don't know.
It is something.
It is something. There are degrees to it.
There is degree.
So it was a two-way thing. Z Studio also was looking at, yeah, don't make such a niche film that we don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I don't want to. Because look at the opportunity you're giving me.
Yeah, man, this is nice.
So we expanded a lot of things. I rewrote it twice between the time Z Studio said yes and the time I went into shoot.
And I don't think you would have done it 10 years back. Jitta, I might be
I
wrong.
wouldn't. So this film would have been a different film if made in 2014. Would have been a different film if made in 2018. It was a different film made in 2022. So these things can be seen as compromises, but I always say it's a recalibration. Where are you at that point?
I don't know if I can say this, मतलब बता देना कि ये नहीं रखना तो मेरे को याद है कि प्री जोरम I think it was the time जब it was getting finalized that Manoj will be in it and we were sitting in Leaping Windows. हम शायद कोविड के बाद पहली बार मिल रहे थे and you had told me कि वैभव अगर मेरी ये वाली फिल्म नहीं बनती ना I'll just run to the first ad या web series opportunity I'll get because I'm so tired, dude. हो गया मेरा.
Yeah.
So, and I was like very emotional at that moment when you had said it, like कि holy shit यार ये क्या चल रहा है. So because you were also very disappointed कि अब नहीं होगा यार नहीं. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to.
And I think that year what had almost broken me was that I had used every last rupee I had saved in all those years to make my 2 short films,
Yeah.
Cycle and Chipata Kadumpa. And those are 2 films I am most proud of because they are, like Ugly Bar, they are completely unfiltered me because I am produced it, I have put my money into it, nobody told me what to do. And they just didn't travel because every festival I sent it to either found Cycle too dark and too direct in its politics. I'm actually scuttling my own films by saying this publicly. and those that rejected Chipada Ka Dumpa, the art house films found it too mainstream, and the mainstreamish platforms and avenues found it too left of center. So I'm like, okay, then what is my space if I'm too mainstream for the art house and too artistic for the mainstream? So these films both sort of got stuck in middle grounds, and they still are. They didn't get the kind of recognition I thought they would, because they were the purest films I ever made.
Damn.
And every rupee that I spent on those films was just flushed down the toilet. I thought I'd at least make some of the money back, I'd pay some people, because most people worked on them for free. So that broke me. Ki yaar, and they were my 7th and my 8th short films, and I was a short film champion. Abobo was a short film community. And now I have a very different take on short films after having.
What's your take? I know the old take. I don't know the. Has your take changed?
So yeah, it has. Until 2 years back, I kept saying that a short film is not a stepping stone to a feature film. It's a destination unto itself. And you will be shocked that in all the festivals where my feature films have shown, some of them showed the short films and they put it in the category of new and upcoming filmmakers after showing 3 of my features. So they just don't acknowledge shorts as an artistic medium. Nobody does, including the most respected film festivals. Where are we to go then? So if the maker is the only one who believes that no, it is a medium to be taken seriously, what can we do beyond a point where when all the distribution channels, including the festivals, treat short films only as an amateur exercise? That anyone who's senior will make a feature, they will not be making shorts. So I have given up on short films.
Oh damn, dude! I remember how in that that's one of the most refreshing film companion videos where Anupama, you, Anurag,
Yeah.
Manoj, all of you guys are sitting and discussing.
The
short
world was different then, because the world is different now. Short films are not being taken seriously. In the same festival, I can't name the festival, it happened in 3 festivals, they put me in young and upcoming. I'm like, but you guys have shown me 3 times. How am I young and upcoming? They're like, but we don't know where to program you then. I said, then come up with a new section, because there are enough good filmmakers making their 17th, 18th, 21st shot. Where are they going to go? How are you going to program them? Or are you not going to program them? Then why are they making shots?
तो अब कोई आज मान लो कि किसी ने आज देवाशीष माखीजा का कोई यूट्यूब पे वीडियो देखा या अगली बार देखी है, नहीं रे मैं बॉम्बे शिफ्ट होऊंगा, तो क्या करे आके?
नहीं, वो शिफ्ट हो, शॉर्ट फिल्म बनाए, बट दे आर स्टेपिंग स्टोन्स. हो गई चेंज, दुनिया हो गई, क्योंकि ये the OTTs also these anthologies of shorts that they made, except for that one Gilipuchi or that one.
हर में एक ही अच्छी होती है.
हर में भी नहीं, कुछ 5 anthologies में एक अच्छी होती है.
Dude, can we take a moment? We'll come back to this, but can we take a moment to appreciate the Konkana Sen Sharma short film?
Incredible. You know what I was most disappointed about? That probably the best short film I've seen in the last 5 years from India is stuck inside an anthology. It could have brought us the short film Oscar. And I told Coco that, यार ये इसके साथ कुछ और कर लेते, but it's an opportunity she worked backwards from, कि इनको चाहिए था तो मैंने बनाई. And I'm like, यार, can you imagine what you could have done with this short? ये Sundance, Cannes, Venice, Berlin कुछ भी जीत सकती थी, पर नहीं लेते ना seriously शॉर्ट्स को कोई. तो ये एंथोलॉजीज में यही कह रहा था कि देयर आर दीज स्पोरेडिक bursts of brilliance which don't get awarded because they're in anthologies, and that has made people take shorts less seriously.
This is very sad. Like मैं एक चीज यहाँ बोलना चाह रहा था कि dude, I again remember the write-up जो आपने डाला था after watching the Konkana Sen short film on Facebook. I shared it in my movie club. This is what Devashish had written, and it was on the lines ki how you are trying to do exactly the same thing in your films, but you're not able to do it, but she did it.
Yeah, because I mean, I also admit I've been questioned about a man's understanding of feminism and the woman's experience, and seeing this film, I'm like, you know what? Agree. A man cannot get to that core so seamlessly and so easily that a woman can. Yeah. So more women filmmakers are needed to be telling those stories, because men can try, but we can't reach the heart of it so casually. Yeah. There's such ease in the way she's told that story. Yeah. There's such beauty in the woman's gaze when she's looking at that husband having sex with the woman, because he's also in the frame. They've sexualized the husband. He has no agency. But then he suddenly has agency in the moment where he tells his wife कि यार मेरे को बोल देते, वो मेरा डिसीजन था.
Yes.
Beautiful. I couldn't have imagined it. वो मेरे जहन में ही नहीं आता कि ये भी हो सकता है. Only a woman's gaze can bring that. So I got fucked. I'm like, what a special film. So necessary. Why is something like this not being made every month?
You know, I remember someone once asked Varun Grover an advice you would give to an artist. And he said ki be in touch and be proud of your feminine side. And I think you have over the years, you always had that side where you are extremely in touch with the feminine side of Devashish Makhija. Is that?
I try.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm successful. Like Varun, coming from Varun is very successful doing that. He wears it on his sleeve. He's unapologetic and it's beautiful. It's in his words, it's in his body, it's in the nail paint on his little finger, it's in everything. He just wears his gender fluidity in some way so beautifully. I don't know what he really stands for, but when I look at him, I'm like, that's so unapologetically graceful. I don't know if I can do that. But I try through my stories.
But like in general, why are you, मतलब मैं ये गुस्से में नहीं पूछ रहा, मैं I'm asking it very politely or very curiously, why are you so interested in the feminine gaze of things ki, and like the female centric side of things?
See, all of these things come from ultimately my rage against the system. So anything that the system, I think, has been doing wrong for 5,000 years, I am angry at it. I'm not only interested in trying to get the feminist gaze right before I die, I'm interested in getting the tribal gaze right. I'm interested in getting someday, I've not even started trying, maybe the Dalit gaze right. I have written 2 stories around the Dalit perspective, but I write it and then I just park it. I'm like, I'm not ready. If a Neeraj Ghewan can be put in the dock for a complex conversation, who am I? I'm nowhere close to getting that perspective right. So these are complex things to try, even attempt to arrive at some truth when you are not born that a part of that body of people in society. The minority, I have written stories because, I mean, I've had my share of 6 December 1992 riot situation experience.
You told me about it in Goa.
First script is based around that, but I parked that also. I'm like, I don't know if I understand down to its DNA the Muslims' perspective on things to be able to represent it in my stories. I'm trying. So it's the rage against the system, the voices the system wants to quash. I'm interested in getting those voices represented in my films, and I'm interested in getting that representation right as close to the truth as possible, because I know I'll not be able to hit the bullseye in this lifetime because I'm not them.
Did the studio backing of Joram like kind of fill you up again with energy कि चलो एक बार के लिए things are right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this studio, and especially the key people in this studio, and I'll name some. Ashima Avasthi, she is the creative head and the producer attached to Joram. Sharik Patel, the chief of this studio who's greenlit this film. There's a gentleman called Sumit Khurana who's a commercial head. There are these key people and the teams under them who are instrumental in making a decision like this in a studio that released a Kashmir Files. It's a studio that has only released, comes from antecedents of being a television channel and has mostly released mainstream films, has released the last Salman Khan film. Suddenly they come together and they say, you know what, kuch alag karna hai. Let's find these voices, and the first two such films they backed were Kennedy and Joram.
Amazing, yaar.
So this, just seeing that their studio that big, the biggest distribution studio in the country, is seeing merit in backing 2 films like this, knowing that they can get an audience into the halls that I didn't dream of in this lifetime, has filled me with energy. Again, they're not doing this in the shadows. Like even a Saregama created a sub-brand called Yoodli, which backed an Ajji and such films. Yes. But there was Saregama and there was Yoodli. They were operating independently. But now Z Studio does
directly वो खुद कर रहा है.
They are doing a press conference on Gadar 2. They are mentioning Kennedy and Joram in every press conference.
Amazing.
I have never seen this. तो ये मैं चाहता हूँ कि हर इंसान, हर इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्म मेकर, हर इंसान जो इस कम्युनिटी से जुड़ा है किसी भी आर्टिस्टिक कैपेसिटी में, ये जाने कि यार एक होपफुल चीज़ यहाँ पे हो रही है. शायद if these 2 films make money at the box office, can you imagine the doors it opens up? Can you imagine how many more studios and OTTs will say, you know what, let us also try this? कि इसमें पैसे बना रहे हैं ये फिल्में, जो हमको लगा कि नहीं बनाएंगे, जी ने दिखाया कि पैसे बना रहे हैं.
तो अगर शॉर्ट फिल्म में होप कम हो रही है तो यहाँ पे होप है, मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक ऑल
लाइक आई सेड, सो दीस आर साइकिल्स. तो 2021 में मेरा जो टेक था शॉर्ट फिल्म पे अब नहीं है, शायद 2025 में चेंज हो जाएगा. अब मेरा टेक चेंज हुआ है क्योंकि अब माहौल अलग है, और सारी चीजें साइकिल्स है ना, माहौल फिर से चेंज हो जाएगा. आई डोंट नो.
बट आई थिंक यू हैव नेवर हैड अ, एटलीस्ट मैंने आपका कभी कोई फेवरेबल टेक नहीं सुना इन रिगार्ड टू वेब सीरीज और टीवी शोज, बिकॉज पर्सनली फॉर मी इट्स अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्ट फॉर्म. और कुछ वेज में इफ यू आर मेकिंग कैरेक्टर ड्रिवन स्टोरीज, आई वुड से इट्स अ बेटर आर्ट फॉर्म देन लाइक feature films.
Absolutely. I enjoy watching the good, what you call web shows today, but I started watching them 20 years back when they were TV series.
Same, yeah. I'm talking
Top
about the same.
favorites were your 6 Feet Under,
Yeah.
shows that people don't talk about, a show called The Shield, and The Wire.
The Wire.
I'm a big fan. And what I'll take a minute to depart from this. And when we spoke about my favorite books and recommendations, I spoke about graphic novels, the comic series.
Yeah.
This was only done in the comic space till the 1990s.
Fair.
The web series actually took off from the comic space. And a lot of the key writers in the big web shows were comic writers first in the 80s and 90s. Even today, the top showrunner, the writer showrunners, are people who wrote comics in the 90s. So they all came with that training of writing, weekly chapters in multiple character intersecting stories. That format has been the reason I came to storytelling, because I'm a comic reader first. And if I was not born in India and born in the US, I would have gone into the comic space, not even bothered with cinema. But when I do meetings, and I do enough meetings for web series over the last 5 years, I've got 3 ideas I want to develop. Everybody wants Black Mirror, but they want me to shoot in 3 months.
Acha.
The intent is not there. They need to cultivate the intent, they need to cultivate the stamina, because even a Black Mirror, one episode takes a year to make. They put in that kind of effort. If a Squid Game is a hit, it took 8 years to set up and make. वो स्टेमिना अगर रखें, मैं पैसे कमाने नहीं आ रहा हूँ, और मुझे बनाने दो, मैं कुछ हिस्टोरिक बनाना चाहूँगा, मुझे वो टाइम दो.
But you are totally okay with like going with this art form, like
I have 3 web series ideas ready and baked for the last 6 years, waiting for an opportunity.
Damn.
Nobody's giving me the kind of resources and time. लोग टाइम नहीं देते. को लगता है पैसे दे देंगे ना, अब 3 महीने में टर्न अराउंड कर लो, 9 महीने में लिख लो. ऐसे नहीं होगा. मैं 6 महीने फिल्म लिखने में लगाता हूँ. If you want Black Mirror level of writing, that one episode takes a year from writing to shoot. It doesn't happen in 3 months.
मैंने यहीं पे एक बहुत अच्छा एपिसोड सुदीप शर्मा के साथ किया था. लाइक आई वांट टू नो व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ पाताल लोक.
I like it. And Clean Slate is actually probably the only producer in this town that gives their creators the space to gestate and create.
And he had some amazing, I don't know, I would recommend you watch that Chalchitra video. Yeah, because I think उन्होंने जैसे थोड़ा क्रैक कर लिया कि वेब वाला ये जो टीवी शो वाला गेम है कैसे खेलते हैं. And he is just not satisfied. Like we did an episode because Kora had just read, and our episode was his last commitment. Next day he went for Vipassana. He's like अब मैं विपसना पे जा रहा हूँ, and he's like कि ठीक है पाताल लोग वगैरह, मेरे को वायर लेवल का कुछ बनाना है. My benchmark is 6 feet under wire. My benchmark is not कि हाँ मैंने पाताल लोग ठीक बना लिया. And I was so, that like energized me. This is such a right way to look at it, na?
Yeah.
Just like I'm just
No,
like,
and Sudeep and I were part of the Skeptic Tank script club at Phantom, and he is a very driven and visionary and hardworking and brilliant guy. So he's the only, and that kind of freedom and time to create your stuff, nobody will give it to you. He fights for it.
he fights for it.
So there are very few creators who really fight for it in this town. Everyone's in a rush to get on to the next project. It's not even the creator's fault. Like I said, OTTs and this, एक तो वो marketing executives running the show in corporate studios.
जो पहले mineral water का.
And now all the OTTs run by ex-TV executives, क्योंकि TV मर गया, ये सब TV वाले यहाँ पे आ गए. तो वो TV का mindset लेकर आए कि 24 hours में turn around कर लो. I'm like, हम सास बहू show नहीं बना रहे. If you want that longevity, you want people to binge watch and come back to it and recommend it, then you can't approach it like a Saas Bahu show, because a Saas Bahu show, you watched it, you forgot the about it. This is not that same audience, this is not that same mindset. I haven't been able to arrive at that space to be able to fight for 2 years, 3 years of time, but I really want in on that space.
There is a question I ask all my guests. I would love to know your opinion on the same. There is this इम्तियाज अली notion कि टूटे हुए दिल से ही संगीत निकलता है. So is it necessary to have your heart broken to create art?
I don't know. So when I say, for example, I'll repeat myself because, like I said, the only thing I dip into very deep is my rage. So that rage comes from heartbreak with the system. So I don't know, because the minute you say that, you're probably excluding and shunting out all the people who have not had a very difficult life. Can they not be good storytellers?
Very nice.
Because a lot of the filmmakers of the past, when filmmaking was genuinely too expensive for the people who didn't have access to privileged money to pursue, like from Godard to all of those filmmakers come from privileged backgrounds. They had enough dispensable income to indulge their artistic impulse. And I always say, for every Godard, there must have been at least 1,500 equally, maybe more brilliant filmmaking voices who never got a chance to hold a camera because they didn't have access to the money. So now, those privileged people, did they really need to go through suffering to create good art? No, their films are phenomenal. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a very romantic notion. It helps create a film like Rockstar. But is it true in the real world? I don't know.
आपने बहुत अच्छी चीज़ बोली कि एंड आई लव आपने हाउ दोनों आर्ग्यूमेंट्स को सपोर्ट किया बिकॉज देर आर सम आर्टिस्ट दैट आई लव who didn't have a very difficult life per se
Yeah.
and they were happy artists. वो खुश रहे हैं और उन्होंने आर्ट बनाया
और बहुत बढ़िया आर्ट बनाया.
मेरे को लगता है कोई भी एक्सट्रीम इमोशन अगर आप एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हो ना वहां से आई थिंक यू कैन क्रिएट आर्ट कोई भी.
I don't even know if it's extreme. Maybe just that driving impulse to create.
Yeah.
That can come from joy, that can come from meditative peace, that can come from rage, that can come from heartbreak. But a driving urge to create something, and that is something I think inborn. जैसे काफ़ी लोग गा नहीं सकते, काफ़ी लोग गा सकते हैं. तो क्या जो गा नहीं सकते ट्रेन कर सकते हैं खुद को? शायद कर सकते हैं, बट क्या वो लता मंगेशकर लेवल नहीं कर पाएंगे? तो वो कुछ चीज़ें तो इनबॉर्न है ना. क्या फिर उसके लिए हार्ट ब्रेक की ज़रूरत है और आप बहुत बढ़िया बढ़िया गायक बन जाओगे? आई डोंट नो. This is a difficult conversation.
But since we have talked so much about like artistic cinema and how difficult a journey it is, can we also talk about a person's physical and mental health in this journey? तो हम एक एक उठाते हैं. पहले physical health की बात करते हैं. Like over the years, have you also noticed the importance of having a good health and like having structures which support like your good physical health?
ये चुन चुन के पूछ रहे हो ना तुम. नहीं, it is important to figure that out, but I learned it the hard way, because in all those shelled films, at different junctures, I've had everything. At the age of 31, I had a heart attack. I've had prostate cancer during the making of Ajji. And now, during Ajji again, I developed arthritis. I still have it. I'm still struggling with it. तो मल्टीपल चीज़ें हुई हैं, क्योंकि मैं हर फिल्म जो नहीं बनती थी या शेल होती थी, मैं डबल एंथुजियाज्म से एक और स्क्रिप्ट लिखता था. सिर्फ नहीं, ये नहीं बनी तो मैं और लड़ूंगा, ये नहीं बनी तो मैं और लड़ूंगा. एंड आई डिडंट प्रायोरिटाइज माय फिजिकल एंड मेंटल हेल्थ. सो yes, I've learned it the hard way.
Abhi, what are your mechanisms in regard to physical health?
I don't know. I'm going through a slightly extreme situation yet again, because Joram was the first feature film that I produced myself with my producer partner Anupma Bose, and it was not an easy film to produce. तो वो पूरा उसके mechanics अभी भी चालू हैं. So I was not prepared for how difficult producing is. So suddenly my respect for a film producer has gone up 50-fold while trying to put together a feature film. So I'm still struggling to get those mechanics in place.
But on an average day, on a normal day when things are okay or like not worse, what are the things you do to take care of yourself?
There isn't a single day that goes by that I don't do 1 hour of yoga. Without that, my body just doesn't hold up.
Since when have you been doing yoga?
2013, 10 साल हो गए, 10 से ऊपर साल हो गए. But again, I mean, work pressure takes over, then I miss some days. But now without that, my body just can't sustain. So it's just become almost like a crutch. I can't do without it. But I realized very late that if I had made something like this a part of my almost like breathing and eating much earlier, I wouldn't have had the physical breakdowns that I did. Because all said and done, your artistic cinema fight, no matter how lucky or privileged or good you are at getting resources, it is still going to be difficult. For the most successful artistic filmmaker, you can safely assume they've hit some really difficult patches. So, for that to be pre prepared with tools for your mental and physical health are really imperative. I have seen friends over the years that my films were not getting made. People who had moved to Bombay around the same time as me, and we'd sort of found friendships. One friend died of a brain stroke after making just one film. I had a friend who had all kinds of meltdowns inside and just quit filmmaking. I've had 3 friends commit suicide. So I've seen that because we didn't know that we would have to prioritize protecting our mental and physical health. I have been on the verge of suicide twice and come back from it. And now I feel stupid saying that because I'm like, अगर suicide करना ही था तो कर लेते ना. What is the point of going there and coming back? तो है वो the luckiest people also have hit really tough patches because, like I said, the world doesn't want your art. You want to put it out there so desperately, it will do some damage to you. You won't even realize it till it gets really bad.
I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, हो सकता है गलत मेमोरी हो कि when you were having bad thoughts, जैसे आपने suicidal चीज़ बताई, you wrote something that day, है ना? आपने एक poem लिखी थी शायद
मैंने
उस दिन।
पोएम लिखी थी. The first time I actually almost shot myself. मैंने एक bootlegged बंदूक खरीदा था. 3 bullets खरीदे थे. And this was after, I think, almost 6 years of my shelled films. So it's 2014. So it's exactly 8 months before I shot Elijah, my first short film that I made out of desperation to prove कि भाई मैं filmmaker हूँ, मुझे मौका दो. But I had hit a severe low before I started fighting and making my way back, making short films. तो मैं वो उस रात तो मैं जा रहा था और मैंने मेल्स लिखे थे 5 क्लोजेस्ट दोस्तों को कि माई फादर वॉज अलाइव एंड लाइक समवन नीड्स टू लुक आफ्टर हिम. तो आई रिटन दीज मेल्स सेइंग कि ये मेरी लेगेसी है, मेरे लिए ये कर लेना. मैं भेजने वाला था सिटिंग देयर विद द गन. एंड अराउंड दोज ईयर्स व्हेन माई फिल्म्स weren't getting made, I was working in many mediums. शॉर्ट फिल्म, शॉर्ट स्टोरीज़ की एक एंथोलॉजी मेरी छपी थी, 3-4 बच्चों की किताबें छपी थी. मैं पोएम्स बहुत लिखता था. तो ऑल दीज इम्पल्सेस यूज्ड टू गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू पोइट्री. और मेरी एंथोलॉजी फाइनली पब्लिश हो रही है जनवरी में. सो बिकॉज आई फेल्ट दैट सर्ज ऑफ दैट फीलिंग ऑफ पॉइंटलेसनेस, ऐसे यार एक पोएम की फीलिंग आ रही है, ये पोएम लिख कर मर जाता हूँ. दिस विल बी माई गुड बाय लेटर. And I wrote that poem and it's called If I Kill Myself Today. And while writing it, तो I got up, I was sitting, एक window था, तो मैं window के पास बैठा था कि अगर if I shoot myself in the head, the blood shouldn't splatter on the wall, क्योंकि मेरे landlady का नुकसान होगा. It should go out of the window. Because I had a very old landlady and she was really sweet. She would have been pretty shocked if I destroyed her wall. When I felt the poem, I couldn't write it in that spot. So I got up, I took my laptop, on which those emails were ready to be sent, and I went into the living room. Luckily, my flatmate wasn't home that day. I wrote this poem there, and the poem was really about the pointlessness of being alive. And by the time I finished the poem, the last few verses are about the pointlessness of killing yourself. So just all the pointlessnesses sort of came into that poem, and I'm like, यार मार भी दूंगा तो उसका point क्या है? And I didn't feel like killing myself. So I don't know, it's bizarre, but that poem sort of kept me alive. And it's really I think the best poem written in my life. Every poetry reading I've gone to, people started asking for it like a greatest hits. कि यार वो poem सुना दो.
Sure, heavy stuff. हमने physical health की बात की. What can a person do to take care of their mental health in the artistic field?
I don't know, man. Also, you're talking to somebody who has really struggled to create a community around himself. I don't have family. Both my parents passed. I'm not close to any rest of my family. I still, every 2 years, I live with different flatmates. I don't have a constant friend circle that keeps shifting. So I never focused my energies on creating a support system. So even when I fall seriously sick, when I look back, I have 2 or 3 really close friends who've been around for me, but almost every time a different person has accompanied me to the hospital or the doctor. So I have not done the right things, other than because I've been so work obsessed. सालों तक मुझे लगा 6-8 साल से I realized it was the wrong way to approach things. I thought काम करता रहूँगा, I'll be okay. But work is not the most dependable companion, because if work is dependent on who is consuming it ultimately, क्योंकि अगर मैं फिल्म्स बनाकर खुद ही देखकर संतुष्ट होता तो क्या ही था ना, मैं खुद के लिए बनाता. But until it finishes its journey by being watched or read or heard by an audience, we don't feel like we are complete. We feel कि नहीं यार, nobody is releasing my film, nobody is publishing my work. That's always there, right? So therefore we are not complete until that happens. Then how are we relying on our work to be our sole and strongest companion? So what else do you need to do? I have not been able to do it. I'm paying the price, so I'm not the right person to actually advise. But all I can say is this is not the thing to do. Don't look for all your solutions from your work. The work is a part of it. And a lot of people romanticize my journey.
Yeah, please speak about this.
Yeah, that, he's so passionate and he's a lone wolf and he keeps fighting for his work. I'm like, yeah, don't romanticize it. This romanticization has brought me to this point where 3 of my organs have half failed and I'm mentally, on days I'm imbalanced. I don't make very cognizant decisions. I can't hold on to relationships. I can't create communities around myself. I have mental, emotional meltdowns once every 3 months. So I'd like to not romanticize the fighter in me. I don't want to be that fighter. I would like to never have been that fighter. I would have liked my art to feed me as much energy as I feed it. बट वो एक डिस्पैरिटी हो गया, मैं जितना देता हूँ उसका 5% भी नहीं मिलता. तो फिर मैं वो एक तरफा रिलेशनशिप, तो इट्स सेटिंग यू अप फॉर डिजास्टर ओनली, नो. सो आई ओवर सिंप्लीफाई दिस एज सेइंग दैट to make sense of it to myself, I am in an abusive, one-sided relationship with my work. But can I walk away from it? No, that's why it's an abusive relationship.
Do you allow yourself the luxury to be happy?
I try more and more as the years are going by. But years back I used to not.
5 साल पहले तो आप बिल्कुल नहीं करते.
अब मैं बहुत पुश करता हूँ. देखो, पुश करना पड़ता है खुद को कि यार no, we must go and do that so that it'll bring me joy. We must sing a song even though you've not done riyaz for 20 years. We must walk in the rain and get a little wet. Don't care about the mud you will bring back into the house. I push myself.
And in hindsight, every time you have gone into the rain or sung that song, have you felt happy?
Of course I have. I deprive myself of those joys. But when I actually push myself, I feel that joy.
I love the conflict here, dude. कि करना भी है बट नहीं भी करना, ये वो dude.
हाँ, ये एक और मेरे अंदर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बहुत सालों से था. आई थिंक ये रोमांटिसाइज करके और बाहर वालों ने भी इतना रोमांटिसाइज किया कि मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया कि इफ आई डोंट कीप द रेज एंड द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट एंड द अनहैप्पीनेस अलाइव इनसाइड, मेरी स्टोरी सफर करेंगी. Therefore, it brings me back to your question that do you have to be a broken-hearted artist to create good art? Why I'm saying I don't know is because I was that guy and I romanticized that all these years. I don't want to be that person anymore because I don't know if that is sustainable, and if it's self generating. You will run out of energy to create that art at one point. You might create 2 great pieces of art from the broken heart, but by the third, you will kill yourself. So do you want to have a sustainable artistic career, or do you want to create 2 great pieces of art and become like Kurt Cobain ki I don't want to burn out, I want to blaze away? Sure, blaze away. I don't think I want to blaze away.
Dude, I was literally recording a podcast with someone and he had said the same line. If you create your purest art, you'll die after that. Like,
Maybe.
Ki the purest art is followed by death. Like, in some ways, badly paraphrasing.
Of course. I'm not in disagreement. I would phrase it differently, but there's some truth in that.
है ना?
There's some truth.
Yeah.
So then when you ask me if my art is impure, yes, maybe because of all those shelved projects that I saw, and if I ever get to make that first film that I wrote about the night of 6 December 1992, it's autobiographical and it's a feature film. I think I can die after that, because that is the purest author inside me. But because nobody wanted to make that, I made a slightly more impure next script. Nobody wanted to make that, I made a slightly more impure third script. So Joram might be I'm hoping people think it's a great film. All the reviews say that. Is it my purest film? I can go on record to say no, because I kept recalibrating myself to a point where it would be an acceptable film for all entities, yet have my politics. But is it the unfiltered, unabashed, purest film I could make? No. Will anybody ever produce the purest film I want to make? Maybe not.
So when I started this episode और मैंने कहा था कि the world hasn't seen the truest form of देवाशीष माकी, जब मेरे को यही था कि हम ये एक लेवल पे कैप्चर कर पाए, and this is
बट अब मुझे लगता है कि क्या वो नौबत आएगी? अभी अगर तुमने ये सवाल पूछा कि ओके समबडी केम इनटू योर लाइफ एंड सेड ये लो, कितने पैसे चाहिए, 15 करोड़ 20 करोड़, ये लो, बनाओ अपनी पहली स्क्रिप्ट। हम लाइक मैंने 2007 में लिखी थी, अब मैं वो प्योरिटी से शायद बना ही नहीं पाऊंगा,
oh dude,
क्योंकि आई हैव रिकैलिब्रेटेड सो मच एज अ फिल्म मेकर, माई सबकॉन्शियस विल कीप सेकंड गेसिंग कि ये लोगों को समझ में आएगा क्या, ये लोग देखने आएंगे क्या, इसको मैं ऐसे चेंज कर दूं क्या? आई डोंट नो इफ आई कैन मेक इट विद दैट प्योरिटी।
the death of an artist.
I don't know. I don't know if it is the death of an artist. I don't.
Yeah. No, I'm glad how you are saying कि there is room for like uncertainty in this, कि you don't know this.
Therefore, like a filmmaker like Amit Datta,
Hmm.
I'm like, yaar, I really envy him. From the time he was in film school, he protected himself कि मुझे अपना ही voice के साथ फिल्में बनानी है, मैं ऐसे ही बनाऊंगा, मैं तो ये इंडस्ट्री के इर्द गिर्द भी नहीं मंडराऊंगा, मैं चला जाऊंगा पहाड़ों में जहाँ रहता हूँ, मैं जिंदगी भर यही बनाऊंगा। And his voice from the time of his first pre-diploma film to now is the same pure, unadulterated filmmaking voice.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll ever have that now.
You talked about like having a one-sided abusive relationship with work. How is your relationship with Mumbai at this point?
Same. Abusive.
Abusive relationship.
I think the biggest irony is us artistic people coming to Bombay to make our art. Bombay is not conducive to art. I'll again quote a cliche that I keep saying in every interview. It's the financial capital of India. What the are we thinking coming to the financial capital of India and saying, no, we don't want to prioritize money, we want to make art? It's the financial capital. Okay? It is going to prioritize money, whether you like it or not. Don't come to Bombay. And that is why the regional cinemas still hold on, because even the capitals of those states, there is a modicum of culture, the purity of culture and art. From Bengal to Assam to Kerala to even the Telugu cinema, they are making their Pushpas and their Bahubalis, but somewhere there are those pure little films. The Kannada cinema, look at the film, in the mainstream there is purity of art. In a Kantara. Where is it in Bombay? Because it's the financial capital. You're not going to get it here. Only thing is, I didn't have a choice. I didn't know where to go.
Fair. I also want to talk about like the cultural exposure we get like as artists. जैसे आप अभी Edinburgh गए, how was that experience like?
Thank you for asking me a happy question. It was beautiful. Edinburgh and Sydney were the two most beautiful film festival experiences of 15 years of my festival journeys. Because in both these cities, the people who curate the festival, the people who come for the festival, just the people in those cities, there's a pure interaction with the art. So both the cities, the hubs where the festivals were happening, about a kilometer, 2 kilometer radius, the festival sort of creates this carnival kind of atmosphere. Traffic gets stopped. I saw this in Sydney and in Edinburgh. And there are live artists on the streets who get half an hour slots. So there's somebody doing a bed of nails kind of trick, somebody's doing a magic trick, somebody's doing a Michael Jackson dance, somebody's doing a saxophone solo, all kinds of artists, and there's just art, and my film is being shown in the middle of it. And the people coming there are coming there for an artistic experience. And the audiences were engaged, the conversations were engaging, people were weeping after watching Joram, the hands were trembling when we were talking politics. It was just both these experiences. The people curating the festivals, passionate about the films. Both these festivals, the festival directors have written the most loving intros to my film on the website.
Wow.
They've not just written it like a Wikipedia entry, they've written it passionately. And I've been quoting them everywhere. So the Joram experience, not just having worked with a Z Studio, But having gone to the most beautiful film festivals, I've not been to these festivals earlier.
Did you also get the chance to like kind of absorb the cities there, like outside of the festival?
I did. Now, Edinburgh, particularly in August, the Edinburgh city is a festival.
Film festival.
Yes, no, it's a festival. It's the Edinburgh Festival. So there's a film festival, the art
Fringe, the
Fringe, yeah, the theatre festival, the streets festival, the food festival, the book festival. So the whole city is a festival. So it was insane. And Sydney also, I was there for almost 10 days. So I did, and I have not experienced a city around a festival earlier either.
culturally speaking, आपने life जितनी भी travel की, which is that one place that has stayed in your memory the most कि this place spoke to me like no other, be it in India or outside of
I
India.
don't know. And again, I think about this every other day कि मेरे को बॉम्बे में नहीं मरना, मैं अपनी सिनेमा क्या किसी और शहर से बना सकता हूँ, बट कहाँ जवाब नहीं मिला मेरे को. The day I find the answer, I'll be gone the next morning.
Oh,
Because when I left Calcutta, I left it in 12 hours. I got into an unreserved compartment because I just got mind fucked. I'm like, I can't live here.
yeah.
And I just left. If I hadn't left on that Thursday, it became Friday, I wouldn't have left. So the day I find where I want to go, I won't waste a minute in Bombay.
मेरे को एक और चीज़ जाननी है कि ड्यूरिंग कोविड जब आप अपना घर छोड़ रहे थे और अपनी जो किताबें थी यू हैड लाइक डोनेटेड देम एंड लाइक सोल्ड देम
Just before COVID, I think 2019,
2019
my father had just passed.
yeah are you मतलब can you let go far more easily than others? मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि जब मैं आपको देखता हूँ क्योंकि I suck at it, like are you good at letting go?
I became good over the years because I think it's, again, I'll romanticize it, although I said all those things that I did before this, but I don't think anything teaches you the value of the success of your art as much as seeing enough failure before it. So having seen so much of my work not getting out there and not getting made and starting and stopping, I just stopped caring for a lot of other things and I just started caring more and more for my work. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying what happened. And for example, books, I used to be manic about books.
Yeah.
Manic as in manic. अगर मैं book festival या book fair या book shop में घुसता था, मेरे हाथ कांपते थे. It's almost like I'm going to get coke or ganja that I really need, and without it, I'm going to self-destruct today. मैं पागल हो जाता था. So in Calcutta in 2019 January, I gave away 10,500 books.
What?
I used to not, even in Bombay, 2 साल मैं खाने के वांदे थे. I've sold वड़ा पाव on the road. बट वो 2 रुपए, 4 रुपए, 6 रुपए में रद्दी वालों से किताबें खरीदता था. खाना नहीं खाता था, किताबें खरीदता था. I was an addict. But when I wanted my work to manifest, and work started manifesting in some form or the other, these other things stopped mattering. So I can walk away now from anything because I'm so invested. My anchor is in my work, which has its downside, but I'm not attached to anything.
So since you can walk away from anything, how is your relationship with nostalgia?
See, if you, again, when my films were not getting made, I wrote this anthology of short stories called Forgetting, जिसमें most of my stories there are derived from my experiences with my mother, my father, their experiences as children of the partition. They both came from what is now Pakistan. So I was very connected to my roots and nostalgia because my other political voice hadn't formed yet. But the minute my rage took over and my political stories started manifesting, I started feeling like nostalgia was almost an indulgence.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I'm not going to speak for all storytellers, but I saw in myself that there were stages in your storytelling journey. That when you're trying to find your voice, you can only dip into yourself, the things that you know, the things that you're familiar with. And a lot of storytellers and artists say something like the truth, and I find it a little incorrect. They say that you should write or make what you know best. And I'm like, maybe, but only in the first phase, when you're finding your voice.
Yes.
The minute you found your voice, expand, because you'll be surprised with what you can do once you found your voice. So the first stage of my storytelling, like my first script was about 6th of December 92, the things that happened to me, was nostalgia. But the minute I started finding my political voice, I don't care for myself anymore. So when someone asks me to make my first film today, I'm like, I don't know. Is it too indulgent? Does it matter to anybody else? Will it make this world a slightly better place by questioning the status quo? No, it'll be about me. I don't want to put myself at the center of things anymore. I'm more interested in other people's stories, especially people who are being marginalized and their voices are being thwarted. So I saw that as a first phase. In the second phase, I started looking like way outwards into like stories of people whose stories are not being represented. I almost went to the other end of the spectrum. And now, because those stories also were really hard to find backing for, and I also get with every story, I get asked very difficult questions. Like the tribal asks me about an unga or a cycle, कि यार इसमें ना वो हमारी पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं दिख रही है, आउटसाइडर पर्सपेक्टिव दिख रहा है.
अच्छा.
Which is fair, because an outsider perspective, I'll take a slight departure to explain that. If you're not a tribal, the only thing we actually understand from the news and what we hear is कि उनके साथ इतना violence होता है. We only see them as the survivors of violence. And they're like, but that is not all that we are. And that makes you look like an outsider perspective. But that is 10% of what we face. We are a lot else that you don't take the trouble to find out. I'm like, you're right. But I'm not making this film for the tribals. I'm making it for the people who don't know what you're going through.
So मैं तो वही 10% दिखाऊंगा.
Correct. पर वो गैप मैं शायद इस जिंदगी में ब्रिज ना कर पाऊँ. तो ये एक फेज है मेरा. मैं शायद एक थर्ड फेज में एंटर कर रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं मालूम, जहाँ एक नई चीज़ होगी, जहाँ मेरी पॉलिटिकल वॉइस भी होगी, मैं बहुत पर्सनल भी नहीं होऊंगा, एंड इट विल बिकम समथिंग दैट विल फील लाइक माई पर्सपेक्टिव. आई डोंट नो व्हाट दैट इज. So I see all of these as phases. So nostalgia was a phase. I don't care for it at all anymore.
And yeah, hard pill for me to swallow, because I think I'm in that phase where I'm a very nostalgic person right now. मतलब मेरे को शर्म नहीं आती बोलने में. मेरे को लगता है जब मैं ये बोलता हूँ लोग मेरे को थोड़ा लेसर आर्टिस्ट समझते हैं कि व्हेन आई से कि
नहीं वो पहला फेज ही है जो आपका वॉइस आपको देगा. And again, when people ask me artistic voice, what is an artistic voice? It is literally the accumulation of your life experiences.
yeah,
क्योंकि तुम्हारे जगह पे कोई और वो किताब या वो फिल्म या वही स्क्रिप्ट को दर्शाता, अलग तरीके से दर्शाता, क्योंकि उसने एक अलग लाइफ जी है. Only your life experiences can bring your voice. That is your fingerprint.
yes,
Why will you not embrace it?
absolutely.
Therefore, it is that first phase where you're finding your voice. और एक बार आपको लगा कि आपकी वॉइस तगड़ी हो गई, then expand. Go anywhere, that voice will help you see that in your way. Nobody else can see it the way you see it.
Amazing.
जैसे ये जोरम की जो स्क्रिप्ट है ना, जब फिल्म रिलीज होगी, आई ट्राई टू पुट माई स्क्रिप्ट्स आउट. जैसे फिल्म कंपनी पैनियन पुट आउट द भोसले एंड द अज्जी एंड द तांडव स्क्रिप्ट्स. सो होपफुली वन डे आई पुट द जोरम स्क्रिप्ट आउट. एंड वाई आई एम सेइंग दिस इज बिकॉज आई टोल्ड माई टीम टू ट्राई दिस. आई सेड ये स्क्रिप्ट है, फिल्म देख ली तुमने, नाउ इमेजिन प्रकाश झा डायरेक्टिंग दिस स्क्रिप्ट. यू विल रीड इट लाइक you can imagine a Prakash Jha film out of that script, because he's an accumulation of a different set of life experiences. And I literally, Joram was an experiment for me to write a slightly mainstreamish Prakash Jha kind of intent, but my kind of film. तो आप ही डिसाइड, आपकी वॉइस डिसाइड करती है वो क्या शेप लेता है, वो आपकी लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस डिसाइड करती है, वो आपका आर्टिस्टिक वॉइस है. वो नॉस्टैल्जिया से ही आएगा और कहीं से नहीं आएगा.
What's the most non-Devashish Makhija like thing you do on a daily basis? क्योंकि हमें एक साइड पता है. I'm talking about that one guilty pleasure that you give into, या like कि hey, I am also capable of this, I am also a human being. ठीक है, आप लोग मेरे को ऐसे देखते हो, but there is this side to me where I just dance in my room. Like
Once a day or once in a while?
Anything, any quirk, any activity, or that you indulge in. Not every day, but कि hey, there is this side.
I give interviews like this. मैं ना बहुत सारे भ्रम है जो मैं खुद के लिए भी तोड़ता हूँ इस तरह की बातें करके. I've given myself this mandate over the last 2 years. You may have noticed also. I mean, I don't mean to sound like I'm talking about myself, but it's an experiment for me. When I'm talking, especially with someone I trust and I'm feeling safe around, I don't think about अब लोग क्या कौन होंगे जो देखेंगे. I'm like, अब ना मैं खुद के चीथड़े करता हूँ. Let me call myself out so that I don't get caught up in an image of myself, और मैंने ये फिल्म बनाई तो लोगों को ये चीज़ें पसंद आई, मैं ये चीज़ें रिपीट करूँगा. I'm like, यार मुझे ना ये चीज़ें नहीं पसंद आई थी, मैं अगली बार लोगों को भी ये पसंद आया या नहीं आया मुझे नहीं करना दोबारा. I want to call myself out.
This is great, dude.
So I used to not do that earlier. I used to be so scared because my films are not getting made. I used to be like, what will people think? Or from my childhood, I've been very introverted. To date, I've been more, the last 2 years, I've been very honest about the fact someone calls me for a party. I'm like, कौन होगा वहाँ पे? If I don't know anyone there, I said, यार मेरी फटती है. When I enter a party where I don't know anybody, my hands go clammy. Now I say it. Earlier I used to hide it. So I tell the person who's calling me कि मैं बहुत nervous हो जाता हूँ. Help me break the ice. When I walk in and I'm introduced, I'm like, I'm very nervous. I have social anxiety. So talk to me gently. So when I disclaim it, I get comfortable.
Lovely. I hope you like the 2 parties जो मैंने थ्रो की थी. आपको सही लगी?
हाँ, मैं एंजाइटी के साथ आया, पर फिर मैं जानता था कि तुम हो, तो धीरे धीरे मैं घुल मिल जाऊंगा. But you know what I mean. So even in
Absolutely.
interviews, I'm disclaiming myself so that I can keep calling myself out.
क्योंकि मेरे को ये भी लगता है कि मेरे को लगता है इवेंचुअली कोई भी इंसान होता है उसका एक ब्रांड बन जाता है, उसकी कंपनी का एक ब्रांड बन जाता है, एंड देन दैट ब्रांड बिकम्स देयर मॉन्स्टर.
Yeah.
तो आपके साथ भी लाइक इट और नॉट एक लेवल पे तो वो हो ही रहा है कि यू आर सर्विंग टू द देवाशीष माखीजा ब्रांड व्हिच कैन टेक द रूप ऑफ अ मॉन्स्टर एट टाइम्स व्हिच यू आर सर्विंग टू.
Yeah.
तो व्हेन यू विल डू, तो ये तो वो एक सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन एक्टिविटी जो होगी. क्योंकि मेरे को ये सबसे डेंजरस चीज लगती है कि जब आप अपने मॉन्स्टर ब्रांड को केटर कर रहे हो.
Yes. मेरी उस चीज़ से फट रही है, और फटती थी, अब तो और भी फट रही है, क्योंकि more and more people, not many people know me. I'm still watched in niches. I'm hoping Joram expands that. But it's मतलब आज की दुनिया की फितरत में है बॉक्स करना, क्योंकि इतना कुछ है ना, तो आप अगर कंज्यूम कर रहे हो तो आप कैसे कंज्यूम करोगे बिना बॉक्स करे. तो आई गेट दैट, बट मेरी उस चीज़ से फटती है कि आई शुड स्टार्ट बिलीविंग माई ओन मिथ.
What a line.
आई डोंट वांट टू डू दैट.
Yeah. And so many artists have fallen into that trap and destroyed their artistic voices.
Therefore, coming back to what I said, I think, again, just from my life experience, to be, when I say successful in your practice of the art, I mean to be honest and to be open is what I see as successful. Not just कि कितने लोग देख रहे हैं तुम्हारी art को, is to see enough failure before that. Then you can keep calling yourself out. And you can keeping yourself on your toes and trying to have a pure response, even though there are enough number of elements that will make you make impure decisions. So that you're cognizant कि यार मैंने ये 4 impure decisions की हैं, ये purity नहीं है, बट मैं इन 4 चीज़ों को प्योर रखूंगा जैसे बैलेंस रहे. आप इम्प्योर चीज़ें करके नहीं बोलोगे नहीं ये इम्प्योर नहीं था, बोलोगे नहीं ये इम्प्योर था, मेरे पास कोई चारा नहीं था, बट ये 4 चीज़ें मैंने रखी ना. हर चीज़ में प्योर नहीं रख सकता. पैसे किसी और के हैं, प्लेटफॉर्म किसी और का है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर कोई और है. मेरे को सबके बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा.
Do you have people in your life who call you out for your bullshit कि यार I know ये pure वगैरह, but hey, I'm calling.
Yes.
Like a trusted set of people.
Yeah, that set also keeps shifting and
Yes, 100%.
I do. And my closest friends are people who will show me their middle finger to my face and say कि ये था. Please rethink what you just said.
And it's important to have.
Very important, because what I say is I do that for them also. I'm very unfiltered. I'm like, don't mind, it's not an attack on you. I'm just going to attack your work. But then I need to be ready for that when you give it to me. तो ये एक तरफा नहीं होगा. मैं करूँगा तो तुम भी करना, और हक से करना.
ये आपके और मेरे बीच में भी अप्लाई होता है क्योंकि
बिल्कुल.
मेरे को पता है कि a lot of times when I have taken feedback from you, you have like destroyed me. But like mentor-mentee relation होता है, I'm asking. So is the other person, like in our relationship, am I allowed to do that?
Of course, whatever I do to anyone, rest assured that person's allowed to do to me. Otherwise, I will not give myself the right to do that. It's not fair. Mentor-mentee एक तरफ, but 2 individuals, no matter what the age difference, are individuals. And I just think for a working relationship, there has to be parity of treatment.
Are you like good at taking feedbacks in general? Like matlab, tell me about the times when you didn't take it well.
It's not easy. To date, it's not easy because it's so hard to get a chance to make something that, and you take so many months and years to arrive at it कि वो पहला रफ कट या वो पहली स्क्रीनिंग या वो पहला ड्राफ्ट पे जब फीडबैक किसी से भी आता है धक्का लगता है. बट देन यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योरसेल्फ. So it's not like I can say कि I've become better. Maybe not. But I try and keep it inside me and I'm like, you know what, I'll get back to you. Give me time to process it because it's not easy. And I disclaim it. I'm honest. I'm like, it's not easy, but I want to take it. Give me time. So I've just stopped reacting immediately. पहले क्या होता था नहीं 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 मैंने ऐसे किया but I'm like okay let me process this, say everything you want to say, I'll note it, send me an email, let's make a voice recording, let me get back to you because it's important, it's part of the creative process.
अब मैं एक बहुत बड़ा सेगवे लूंगा, बिल्कुल रैंडम, एक लो एफर्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट्स योर रिलेशनशिप विद फूड? आर यू अ फूडी?
No, I wasn't all my life, but the pandemic sort of changed that.
Okay.
When in the pandemic when we all had to cook for ourselves,
Yeah.
and I used to actually, truth be told, for almost all my life till I had my heart attack, I used to look down upon the effort and time taken to eat. I used to literally, without looking at my food, I used to just shove it into my mouth so that I could continue working, to see it as a waste of my time. It's a segue that I can do without. Like, can't someone just give me pills like an astronaut? Can I just pop pills and get on with my work? So I used to not value food, and food me in the ass by giving me a heart attack because it was my malnutrition and my wrong eating timings and not eating for days on end that screwed my liver, which actually affected my heart. So all my issues have to do finally with a weak liver because I screwed myself in my first 10 years in Bombay. I screwed myself with not respecting food. During the pandemic, because I had to cook, watching YouTube tutorials, and I ate my own bad rotis and bad dal, I started really respecting food. So much so that now, if it's a good meal, I really cherish it. I take my time to eat it.
I remember our mutual friend Dhruv Sehgal, like he once posted a New Year resolution. Ki this year's New Year resolution for me is to eat more slowly, and I'm like, dude, beautiful.
So there are two things. I actually have practiced that now for the last 3 years. One, to not do anything else when you're eating. So I have a spot in my house now that faces the window. So when I'm eating anything, even if it's a biscuit with tea, I go and sit there. I try to blank myself out so that my body can assimilate the food going in and I can feel it. And just feel that food is going in and not watching something. My brain is processing that, but my stomach has to now fool itself into digesting the food because my brain is not supporting it. My brain is processing a film I'm watching. This disconnect is very important for health, physical and mental health. And we don't think about that enough. So I try and process the fact that I'm eating. And the minute you do that, you will eat slowly because you will be conscious because you're not conscious of anything else. And you will be conscious that your morsel has not been chewed, so you have to continue chewing. It all comes if you're not doing anything else and just doing what you're doing at that point in your life. Like I do a meeting or like an interview or anything, my phone is always silent. When I'm checking my phone, I am only checking my phone. When I'm doing something else, I'm sorry, my phone, it's off limits. So people get fried with me. They're like panic calls and I get 17 missed calls. I start training the people in my life.
Yeah.
Don't panic. I will check it once every hour, but I will not be at your disposal. I am not my phone slave. I don't even know what my phone's ringer is like.
And you had the oldest iPhone for the longest time. Not even an iPhone.
Yeah, no,
you had a Nokia phone.
I moved to a smartphone 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember. I had to talk to you on SMS.
Yeah, and when I moved to a smartphone, I moved to the oldest iPhone, which was my
Yes.
first AD's grandmother's old iPhone. मतलब मुश्किल से मैं WhatsApp करता था, वो WhatsApp टाइप करता था, सेंड करता था, हैज टू watch, wait 15 seconds later the WhatsApp would go. Because I think the phone was could only manage 2G max and 4G connection हो गया था तब तक.
Yeah. I remember like ये जो आपकी टीम से आपको जो ये चीजें मिलती हैं, मेरे को याद है. I think भोसले के आप एक प्रीमियर में गए थे and you had Manoj का कोट and like all these things.
नहीं, अभिषेक बैनर्जी कोट.
Okay.
अभिषेक बैनर्जी का वो कोट जो उसने अपनी शादी में पहना था.
Yeah, man, such amazing stories. So this is great. Like मैं चाहता हूँ कि we also take some questions from Vaishnav and Vinayak. इन्होंने कहा था इनको बहुत चीजें पूछनी है. So guys, do you want to ask something?
I'm processing a lot of. I wanted to ask you, मतलब अभी the dark side of stuff के बारे में ज़्यादा बात की. Is there anything you find hopeful? जैसे आपने Z का बताया, they are doing these commercial stuff, but they are also promoting yours. A24 के बारे में भी आजकल मैं बहुत सुनता हूँ, तो it's becoming cool now.
प्रोडक्शन हाउस है यार,
Yeah.
बट उन्होंने भी बहुत पापड़ बेले हैं यार.
हाँ.
For so many years they were not getting taken seriously.
Yeah.
But I think अब से जैसे internet marketing आई है, you can go viral without spending money on
You
Google.
can.
You can turn it into a sort of cool thing. ऐसे YouTube पे बहुत लोग बात करते हैं. मतलब earlier you used to need a lot of stuff.
Like I said about even technology, but I mean, I sound like I'm being dark and dismal, is even in the hopeful things, I like to keep reminding myself and
Yeah.
therefore everyone else कि यार इसके downsides ये है.
Hmm.
उसको नज़रअंदाज मत करो, क्योंकि फिर हम उम्मीद बनाकर बैठ जाते हैं कि ये हमको बचाएगा. कोई तुमको बचाने नहीं आया है. सब अपना मैक्सिमाइजेशन देख रहे हैं, प्रॉफिट हो या व्यूज़ हो. तो इवन लाइक द यूट्यूब एंड डिजिटल मार्केट, लाइक माई शॉर्ट फिल्म्स went viral in that year right after Ahalya. Ahalya started that sort of tsunami of short films for a year and then it disappeared. It was because we were empowered to market our own films. But did that sustain? No, क्योंकि वो अहल्या, तांडव, ये 5-6 अच्छी फिल्मों के बाद 50,000 टट्टी फिल्में आई. तो that will get misused, no? Then how do you rise through the shit and get noticed? The new challenge. So with every good thing will come a bad thing. So you can't pin your hopes on the good thing. तो अभी A24 एक everything everywhere all at once suddenly put them on the map. But they've been struggling for 20 years before that. What about that? Suddenly now A24. Now I hope they don't become that hegemonic monster and change their game. I hope they stay with their game. But some new challenges will come, because like A24, 20 other entities will come. Then A24 will have to change their game to stay relevant. So the good things don't sustain. So I just like to remind ourselves कि ये अभी है, कल नहीं होगा. तुम अपने आर्ट पे ध्यान दो, क्योंकि आज कोई है, कल कोई और होगा, और तुम्हारा आर्ट वही होगा.
Then people start trying to make fake films that look artistic.
Yes, but you stick with your art. You can't control that. You can only control your art. तब वो YouTube के शॉर्ट फिल्म्स का वेव था, मेरी शॉर्ट फिल्म्स निकल पड़ी. फिर वो एक छोटे इंडी डार्क फिल्मों का एक 2 साल का दौर था, मेरी अज्जी निकल गई. उसके बाद भोसले 3 साल तक रिलीज नहीं हो रही थी. OTTs और पेंडेमिक के वक्त OTTs का कुछ हो गया, भोसले निकल गई. Could I plan that? No. But am I going to now hold my breath कि ये हुआ दोबारा होगा? No. Because all those phases ended as soon as they started. Now a big studio backing independent films, will it sustain? I don't know. I don't own that studio. But am I going to hold my breath for it? Absolutely not. I will keep making my films. Tomorrow somebody else will come.
I'm going to ask you a question because it's so subjective, the answers. But since I'm liking your subjectivity towards things, that's why I'm asking. What do you think is art? How do you explain it?
Wow. It's a very, very difficult question to answer even subjectively, because I think on my own journey from phase to phase, my understanding of art has changed. My definition of art has changed. Like, I'll give you one micro example in this large conversation around what is art. A film, like because I am that filmmaker, a filmmaker who gestates his or her own idea from the seed into a film, I used to call that an auteur, an artistic filmmaker. Then I see Kubrick and Fincher and Ray. Those ideas were not theirs. All their films are adaptations or written by other people. So then are they lesser artists? I'm like, they're therefore subjective. So over time, then my perception of that for myself had changed, because there are 2 or 3 films that I have written that I have not made yet. Have the seed impulse has come from something else I read and something else I watched, and that led to, okay, what if I try this? And I started writing. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling this. But when I finished the script, I'm like, but the seed didn't come from here. It came from there. And I will even acknowledge that. But am I less artistic? Did my filmmaking side actually, has it started changing me as an artist? So I don't know. I really don't have an answer to that. And that question should actually be asked to every artist, and they should be left to spend a lifetime finding their answer. Because by the day I die, I will have a different answer to this.
Absolutely. And since you are creating art And since you've given this power to do it, no matter what your art is and how is it perceived, because Vincent van Gogh's paintings are perceived as beautiful and mesmerizing, and people do stop for a second. It's easy to look at the painting, but it's hard to be Vincent van Gogh. Since that is happening to with you as well while you're creating art, that it's easy to look at your films and ask a question.
But it's difficult to be Devashish Makhija.
Exactly.
Will you stop taking my name like it's a brand name? You are the people like you are responsible for creating the myth.
नहीं यार मैं तो I'm doing my bit like to make Joram a successful film. Guys, Joram जाके देखे.
Exactly. So do you think today's world supports today's Vincent van Goghs?
The world never supported the Vincent van Goghs. It never supported the Kafkas. It never supported the artists who tried to, I wouldn't say prioritize their art over themselves, because when you look at it from a distance, it looks like Kafka didn't care about himself, cared for what he was saying. Van Gogh didn't care for himself. But at that point, when they were creating it, they were helpless in front of the impulse to create. It, like, even for me, on it, like when I'm saying I don't want to make the whole reason of my being be my work, but I can't help it. Some days it's like it's as necessary for me as eating, shitting, drinking, pissing. It is as necessary. I don't do it, I am restless and I'm feeling not right. I start feeling settled when I've worked, when I've put something out of me that was sort of festering. And so that has not been something that the world has been able to accept since time immemorial. Like even the greatest philosophers of Greece and Rome, at one point they were looked at as madmen and they were questioned for what they were saying, and only 200, 300, 500 years later, they were ahead of the time. Like a lot of the great filming, Hrithik Ghatak, and this is an example I give often because Hrithik Ghatak's journey, I used to romanticize it a lot. I feel scared romanticizing it now because he suffered a lot. And I keep thinking that maybe I'm on that same journey as him. I used to look up to him for answers, but I don't want to spend my life suffering. So he, out of the 13 films he made, I think one released in the theaters. The minute he died, they were like, he was ahead of his time. I'm like, you. A good artist is only representing his times in his art. You couldn't see it. That doesn't mean he was ahead of his times. So don't put that onus on him. No good artist is ahead of the time. They are purely representing what is around them. You don't have the capacity to acknowledge that they are being truthful to the times around them. And then when they die, you're like, they're ahead of the times. Because there's no other way you can process that. But is that onus on the world? I don't know. Like especially in a country like India, when I talk about these things, again, like I said, I try and be as unfiltered and check myself and check my own arrogance. Like this country is still struggling after 75 odd years of independence with primary education and primary healthcare and food. Does it owe anything to art? No. Any policy making first owes its everything to these three things. Art probably comes at number 11 or number 12 on the list. Even during the pandemic, when artists were saying कि देखो Germany 2000 या 3000 euro दे रही है हर artist को so that they sustain themselves. Like Germany में below the poverty line करके कोई चीज़ ही नहीं है. यहाँ पे आप किस हक से आर्टिस्ट होकर एक 2 BHK में रहकर बड़े शहर में किस हक से मांग रहे हो हर महीने पैसा, जब बिलो द पॉवर्टी लाइन उनको राशन तक नहीं है 3 महीना सस्टेन करने को. पहले वो राशन का देखें कि तुमको रेंट के पैसे दें. तो आर्ट, yes, of course, during the pandemic there were these arguments about, but you're locked in the house and all you have to keep you going through these times is art, is OTT, is books. Like, yes, because you have enough food to eat. Those people who don't have enough food to eat are not watching things on OTT and reading books. They're struggling to get 2 rotis to eat with water. So that has to be prioritized. So art enters that discourse much later. So it's a really difficult discussion.
Absolutely.
Another question that I wanted to ask, since you said art has a different definition, do commercial चीज़ होती है, do you consider it an art?
Of course.
वो एक अलग type की
Different degrees. Like I said, Dharma and Yashraj, they work backwards mostly from a market dynamic. अब अगर इसको break down करें, जितना मैथमेटिकली मैं ब्रेक डाउन कर सकता हूँ कोशिश करता हूँ टू एक्सप्लेन माई पॉइंट कि व्हेन दे वर्क बैकवर्ड्स फ्रॉम मार्केट डायनामिक तो वो सोचेंगे कि मैं ना मेरी पहली फिल्म है एज आदित्य चोपड़ा, सो आई वांट पीपल टू वॉच इट, एक रोमांटिक ड्रामा बनाता हूँ जिसमें लड़का और लड़की स्ट्रगल करेंगे एक दूसरे से मिलने को, क्योंकि रोमियो जूलियट टाइप कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा, फैमिली कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, ये चीज़ें वर्क करती हैं और मैं आज के सबसे बड़े स्टार को लूँगा क्योंकि ये चीज़ें वर्क करती है। बट इसमें मैं ये चीज़ें करूँगा, एंड में भी ना, एंड तक वो भगा के नहीं ले जाएगा, परमिशन मांगेगा, ये पहले किसी ने नहीं किया, ये मेरा आर्टिस्टिक वॉइस है, तो ये आर्ट हुआ ना। बट कुछ चीज़ें मार्केट ने डिसाइड की, इट्स जस्ट द डिग्री। व्हेन आई से दैट द आर्टिस्टिक वॉइस vis-a-vis the mainstream voice, they're both art. It's the matter of degree. With the artistic voice is not thinking at all about market को क्या चाहिए, क्योंकि उस आर्टिस्ट ने मार्केट के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं, उसके अंदर कुछ हुआ और वो बनाने निकल पड़ा। जैसे अगली बार अगर मैं बैठ के सोचता कि मार्केट को क्या चाहिए, मैं बनाता ही नहीं, मैं जो कहानी कह रहा हूँ उसको, वो सिस्टम को ही नहीं सुनना, और मैं इतने गंदे गंदे फोन्स पे शूट कर रहा हूँ कि देखने लायक नहीं है वो फुटेज, तो मैं क्यों बनाऊँ वो फिल्म? कोई लॉजिक नहीं है, मेरे को बनानी थी, तो वो हो गया ज़्यादा आर्टिस्टिक। बट द मिनट आई एम मेकिंग भोसले और जोरम, मोस्टली अ जोरम, आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट मैनी थिंग्स। आई एम लाइक, आई वॉन्ट मोर पीपल टू वॉच दिस, सो आई वोंट मेक माई पॉलिटिक्स सो इन योर फेस, आई मेक इट अबाउट दिस फादर एंड द डॉटर, father trying to save the daughter. More people will emotionally connect with the film. So when I narrated the film to my team and my cast, मैंने हर बार संक्षिप्त में 2 कहानियां नरेट की to make them realize कि what am I driving at. वही कहानी एक आदमी है जो पहले मतलब आज भी ट्राइबल है, बट पहले अपने गांव में कंपनी आई थी, ज़मीन चाहिए था माइनिंग के लिए, उन्होंने बोला नहीं देंगे, कंपनी अपनी पे आ गई, पुलिस आ गई, शायद टॉर्चर वॉर्चर हुआ, कुछ लोग माओइस्ट बन गए। फिर माओइस्ट इतने वायलेंट होते हैं, ये आदमी ले नहीं पाया, तो माओवादी को डिच करके गायब हो गया, कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट पे काम करता है, हिज पास्ट हैज़ कॉट अप विथ हिम, दे किल हिज वाइफ, ही गोज रनिंग बैक टू फाइंड आउट कि झारखंड में मेरे गांव में कौन आया इतने साल बाद, हाउ डू दे नो आई वाज हियर, व्हाई डिड यू किल माय वाइफ, एंड द होल पॉलिटिक्स गेट्स रिवील्ड बिट बाय बिट कि ये है व्हाट इज एक्चुअली कम आफ्टर हिम। पॉलिटिकल थ्रिलर नीश। अब इसमें एक 3 महीने की बच्ची डाल दो, द सेम फिल्म वर्क्स विदाउट द बच्ची, बट इट्स एन इंटेलेक्चुअल पॉलिटिकल फिल्म। द मिनट इज रनिंग विद अ 3 month old चाइल्ड, जिसकी माँ ब्रेस्ट फीड कर रही थी उसको कल रात तक, अब मर गई, अब वो भाग रहा है, बच्ची को खिला रहा है, बच्ची को सुला रहा है, बच्ची का देखभाल कर रहा है, गोली चल रही तो बच्ची को बचा रहा है। यू लाइक फक, इसको कुछ मत करो भाई, बाप है ये, ना आदिवासी है ना एक्स माओवादी है, कुछ नहीं है, पहले बाप है, बाकी चीजें बाद में आई। यू सी हाउ दैट वन थिंग चेंज्ड इट, दैट वाज मार्केट डिक्टेटेड फॉर मी। जैसे मैंने उस आदमी को बाप बनाया विद एन इन्फेंट, everybody across the world has wept when the film has ended. But if I had removed the child, it would have been a great intellectual political thriller. जैसे ये हो रहा है आदिवासियों के साथ, we should think about it, policies change होनी चाहिए, but कोई रोता नहीं। हर इंसान फिल्म के एंड में उस बच्ची और उस बाप के लिए रोता है। अब is this impure? Is it less art? I'm saying I don't know. They are both equally valid, but they will both come from very different prerogatives.
काफी सही देव, थैंक यू सो मच। इज देयर एनीथिंग दैट लाइक वी माइट नॉट हैव स्पोकन अबाउट, और कोई चीज़ जो मैंने नहीं पूछी जिसके बारे में आप बताना चाहोगे कि एनीथिंग यू रियली वांट टू टॉक अबाउट?
नहीं यार, इस डिस्कशन के बाद और कुछ होना भी
Did you
नहीं
have
चाहिए। आई थिंक आई फॉरगॉटन आई वाज सिक। नाक बहना बंद हो गया।
दिस इज अमेजिंग, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, because again you guys have managed to create of course our rapport alag, this feels like a safe space. You've managed to create something very special, and I've not seen a lot, but whatever little I keep seeing of Chalchitra Talks and even the little excerpts that keep showing up on my social media feed, people just come in with very open hearts when they're talking to you guys. That doesn't happen very often.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you for
एंड
this.
मैं जाने से पहले जोरम कब कहाँ लोग देख सकते हैं, हमें एक बार ये बताइए।
देखो, इंडिया में तो बस दिखने वाली है, बट क्योंकि अनाउंस नहीं हुआ अभी तक, मैं नहीं कह सकता। अनाउंस हुआ नहीं ना।
बट लाइक वेरी सून,
Very soon, very soon.
एंड ऑल्सो अ थिएट्रिकल रिलीज।
Yeah, but that when we don't know.
Got it. एंड गाइस देव का पहले का काम भी जाके देखिए, बहुत अच्छी इन्होंने शॉर्ट फिल्म्स और फीचर फिल्म्स बनाई हैं, बहुत अच्छी किताबें लिखी हैं. प्लीज डिवार एवरीथिंग दैट यू कैन. आई हैव बीन अ फैन ऑफ हिज सिंस द लास्ट 7 years. और मतलब मेरे को पैसे नहीं मिल रहे इस चीज़ के, क्या पता मिल जाए बाद में.
मुझसे सवाल ही नहीं.
But this was a lot of fun, and to show that like the artistic community is still alive, अगर आपने यहाँ तक वीडियो देखा है तो हैशटैग abobo यूज कीजिए, है ना? abobo
अब
abobo guys, abobo यूज कीजिए, and like let's keep the community thriving. Thank you so much Dev, this was a lot of fun.
like I said, Chalchitra Talks is probably the most heart chakra open kind of place where people come and talk their minds and hearts. So please keep watching and please keep subscribing and please keep coming back. Who knows, one day you'll make a great film and you'll be sitting here talking to Vaibhav Munjal.
Yes, and also guys do watch my last episode with Devashish. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि ये very less on recommendations है, that is filled with recommendations, so वो भी जाके देखिए. चलो guys, bye. Thank you for watching this episode with Devashish Makhija. Like I said, this is a very special episode for me, and I also want to thank Devashish for doing this with us. देवाशीष की थोड़ी सी तबीयत भी ख़राब थी जब जिस दिन हमें रिकॉर्डिंग करनी थी, बट लाइक ही इज़ लाइक नो वील डू इट. एंड शायद आपको एपिसोड देख के वो रियलाइज़ नहीं हो, बिकॉज आई थिंक बात करते करते लाइक वी बोथ बिकेम वेरी एनर्जेटिक, एंड दैट इज़ समथिंग ही ऑल्सो मेंशन्ड आफ्टर द एपिसोड एंडेड. So yeah guys, like I hope you keep coming back to this episode. I know I will, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.